quick question. Are the 3 people watching Twitch the 3 of us?
I can hear us online.
I'm not on Twitch.
I can.
What would you do if the fate of the world was draped on your shoulders? How far would you go to protect what you love and the secrets you hold? Lands wrapped in chaos and madness and woe. The realm needs some saving. It needs some heroes. The last, she strikes like lightning, but you don't hear the thunder. The yellow, he's quick with his tongue, he'll fill you with wonder. Rauga, he's loyal to his back, obsessed with the dead. Grunround, he's searching for things he can lodge in your head. Hanging stones, hanging stones. Wow!
Hello, interwebs. We are live. This is our first time streaming to multiple places at once. So hello, YouTube. Hello, Twitch. We're back for session 18 of The Forbidden Lands, The Hanging Stones. When last we left our heroes, we are in the village of Aylesbury, deep in the Dankwood. It is a town full of people that are older than they rightly ought be and still alive. And with a strange connection to bees, it seems, as there is some sort of bee altar in the middle of town, and bees all over the dang place. We are in the local tavern, where we are. Let's get some audio going here. We are in the local tavern, where we are enjoying some drinks. It is late in the afternoon. I'm going to switch us over to evening time pretty soon here, but I'll let us do a little bit of recap first before we move things on. I have added some new art and icons for two of our NPC characters who are traveling with the party, Dahlia and Lynn. So they have faces now. That's fun. And yeah, when last we left our group, they came from Red Hook Redoubt, where they were attacked by a war party of marauding orcs of the Roka clan. They fought them off, sent a few of them running off into the woods, had a brief sighting of Terramalda, the haunted, burning armor that wanders the wilderness, that has some sort of affiliation with the Rust brothers. It saw Grunrock scouting, pointed angrily at him, and then marched off into the forest. It was Grunrock, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
After that, our party headed south, exploring the wilderness, headed for Aylesbury in the hopes of finding somebody that can help with Lynn's magical curse. She seems to be haunted by dark magic that she cannot control properly. So we came to the town. We learned that the locals are old and that there's many generations of people living in the town. We spoke to a wizard named Oros, a sigillist who lives in the stone tower on the outskirts of town, who offered to perform a magical ritual to seal and protect the girl, Lynn, while they find a cure for her magical ailments. But Ralgar got the creepy vibe from him and decided to shuffle off and tell him maybe later, bye. We also had a visit with one of the local elders who shared a great deal of lore about the Elder Wars, Elderland, the kings of the south, and the times before the Blood Mist. We learned about the Iron Lock, which is a huge wall that closes off the only path through the Great Divide to the south, sealing off Alderland. And we learned that the Ravenlands that we live in are some sort of haven for exiling criminals to. Some people call them the Forbidden Lands.
Ooh, title card.
And with that, we resume in the tavern at the center of the small and strange village of Aylesbury. We will declare that the entire party is gathered here. I'm actually going to shuffle it on to evening here. It getting dark will not directly impact anything since we're not wandering the wilderness currently, so we can kind of continue right where we were. But I think last time we spent a great deal of time splitting up, traveling around town, gathering information. So we're going to just resume with the whole party sitting around a table in the corner of the tavern, regrouping, and we'll go from there. In real life, we had a longer gap between sessions than usual, so we'll do a little memory jogging here at the beginning to try to all get back on the same track. And take it away, group. Beg it away, toys.
So we're all... Are we all officially gathered now? Because I know that Ralgar was off. And I think Grunrock, I, and Velas were all in the tavern.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
So
What was your
let's
question?
meet up with Ralgar.
I am definitely here. I am
Okay.
in the tavern, and I brought Lynn with me, because that creepy sigilist, he was gonna put her to sleep. I did not believe he would be nice to her. So we promised to kill him later. It's gonna be fun.
Lynn walks up to the
Oh.
table and sits down and says, "Why would we wait till later, though? Couldn't he cause us more trouble if we leave him alive?"
I feel like he'll cause us more trouble if you let him know you're going to kill him. For now, he's harmless. The putting you to sleep part's kind of creepy, so maybe we just don't let you anywhere near him for now.
I have a better plan, though. I mean, if you guys want to hear it. Huh?
Take it away, Ralgar.
Take it away.
Okay. Well, I've been walking around this place, and the bees, they are flying around, and they're not stinging me. And it made me think about something that my old master once told me. And I think it might be relevant. He told me that there was once upon a time, many, many packs ago, a wizard, or a man, or a ruler, I don't know. He was important, but he found a way to make himself live forever. And he did it by turning himself into like a honey mummy or something like that. I don't know. He did some sort of magic. But they say that he was buried beneath these woods, and that if people eat his flesh, they can live long, or, and this is why I'm telling you this story, it can cure magical diseases, which, frankly, Lynn, I think you might have more of a disease than a talent at this point. And I think if you want to live a long and happy life where you can kill many, many wizards, we might need to make sure you don't kill yourself first. So, I don't know. I just feel like this town, these people, they're giving me the heebie-jeebies, and it might be related to this guy, this sorcerer. His name was Pagog.
You're getting the exact same look from both Lynn and Dahlia, which is...
Yeah, I know. I can't believe I didn't remember it earlier either. But, I mean, it sounds like these people, right? They live forever, there's lots of bees around them, and this dude, he lived forever because he used honey. And we could be in the place. We could cure you, Lynn. All you have to do is eat some of his skin.
This is a
How would we
weird
find
sugar
him?
mama story.
Basically. But I don't know how we'll find him. I mean, if these people, if they're living, they're probably eating some of him. So, I don't know. We could ask them? Yeah.
Well,
let's
I
ask them.
think they live forever because maybe they eat the honey?
I don't know. I'm just sharing what I know. which isn't much, I guess.
No, it's a lot. It's a lot to think about, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So, you want to dig up a zombie and feed him to the kid?
It was more like a mummy than a zombie, but yeah.
Well,
I don't think you
theoretically,
dig up mummies.
It might be in a tomb. I don't know.
Well, what if they're... Josh, I got a question.
Mm-hmm.
Are there, like, man-made hives for these bees? Like,
They are
we've seen in
cultivating
the
them.
town?
They are cultivating them to an extent. They seem to have beehives and makeshift carpentry like spaces for them built onto the roofs of many of the buildings in the town and scattered all around the town to try to keep them a little higher up and out of everybody's faces probably. But yes, it seems like the villagers are cultivating and harvesting the honey and regularly eating it. And it also seems like the villagers don't seem to be bothered by the bees in the way that you were when you came into town. Or some of you
Are
were.
there a lot of like flowers and such that like around the town that the bees
Yeah.
get pollen
Yeah.
from? Okay.
But did you not see them? They're very pretty.
What if these bees are getting something from wherever this mummy may be buried, and they use that in the process of making their honey? And just the little portion of that is what is causing these people to live longer? Because I don't think they're immortal. I think they are just living longer.
So you mean maybe these people do not know where this magic is coming from?
I
They're
think
They're
so.
just eating honey.
I mean, I think this place is weird just because there's a lot of bees, but I mean, everyone's been kind of friendly. You know, the
well,
barkeeper was... I mean, they weren't rude to me. Like, I don't think a lot of people are just friendly to you in general. They were friendly to me. Even the guy who I woke up in the middle of the day after he was binge drinking all night was still polite. He didn't yell at me. He sold me arrows and sent me on my way. So, like, they may just be a regular town.
Arrows.
I didn't refill them, unfortunately. I didn't have enough for that, but I did get some more. But they might not know that bees are this. Maybe the altar we visited, or the altar here in town, could give us a hint.
My master had told me that the altars are what people just built to worship this man. His name was Pagog. But I do not know. I mean, I think you have a point, though, that these people, they may not be eating his flesh. They might just be eating the honey. What if we follow the bees?
That's what I was thinking. You said he was a man, but he's worshipped, so is he a god?
Well, I mean, if I saw someone that was living forever, I would probably think they were a god, too.
She
gonna
lives
go-
forever.
outside. I do, in fact, live forever.
Don't start worshipping her. She doesn't need that ego boost.
You can certainly worship me if you would like to. Many men have. I'm going
I
to
am no man.
go... I'm going to go outside and just kind of... Can I, like, look and see if the bees are all kind of, like, congregating in one space or coming from one direction?
You can go outside and observe the bees, and you will see that there are bees buzzing all over town in every direction, and beehives covering the roofs of most of the major buildings in the central part of town. There seems to be a constant cloud of them floating around the altar at the center of town as well. That semicircular looking covered altar with the offering bowl that you saw last time. There's a constant cloud of bees buzzing around there, many of them buzzing up in the air. You'll also notice something else of note while standing outside in the twilight as the sun is setting, which is that there is a large flock of black ravens on the south side of town, maybe 20 or 30 of them hopping around the ground, pecking away. Some of them trying to hop up and snatch bees out of the air. there are villagers walking among them, and they seem to give a little bit of space, but not fly away in the frightened way that birds usually would. And
Anyone fancy a walk?
Did you say a walk? I'm always ready for a walk.
that's a
No, I
highlight
had a
right
feeling
there.
you might be.
We need a montage of Ralgar being a puppy dog.
It is getting dark. Are we just gonna explore for the evening and then maybe call it a night, or do we want to maybe look into this the next day?
If we want to snoop around a little bit, it might be better to do it now than in the middle of the day.
I'm fine with whatever. Just raising a point.
Fair point. I would kind of like to go and check this place out just in case the ravens aren't all there tomorrow. I want to
Let's go.
try and remember where it is.
Let's do it. Let's go punch some birds.
That sounds fun.
Are the four of you all walking towards the ravens then? Is that correct?
How are we supposed to catch them, though?
Dahlia's going to stay in the bar with Lynn.
Good plan.
Yeah.
Lynn, don't use your magic.
Dahlia, don't overdrink.
Grunrock, kill every orc.
She says nothing and orders a mead. As you're walking out, you hear her say, Lynn, have you ever tried mead? So you're walking outside. Yeah, there's this flock of 20 or 30 ravens pecking around the outskirts of town. You walk among them, and they give you a pretty narrow berth. They try to avoid being stepped on, but they don't fly away. Some of them seem to be inquisitively looking at you. As you walk among them and seem to be paying attention to them, they seem to be kind of migrating further towards the outskirts of town, towards the trees.
Can I sniff the ground and see if it smells any different than the ground anywhere else?
Yeah.
See if I can notice anything?
Yeah, make a scouting roll.
I'll make a scouting roll.
Let's go, pup.
This
got
is one
this.
that only you can make, because it relies on scent.
All right.
Whose character dice?
No ability dice were found for Adam. All right, let's
Remember,
try
just
this.
Uh-oh.
you click scouting and then the roll
We need our
on
guy.
in the middle.
We need our guy that made the character sheet. What was his name? Somebody remember his name? That will not do it, and this is not pushable.
Right, Eric?
If we're outside, do you want to change the music that Sirenscape is providing for us?
I would like to do that.
They're really loud in that bar.
Oh, yeah.
I don't hear Sirenscape at all right now, but you know what? I adore Sirenscape, and I thank them for providing all of our fabulous music, sound effect needs. Truly, is there a greater company? We don't know. This is the one we use, but they're awesome.
Josh, can I pick up a raven?
If you try to grab one, they're going to try to avoid you, so... make a
Catch bird roll.
make a catch bird roll. They're quick.
Are you on my character sheet?
Let me think.
Melee?
Let me think. Yeah, melee. It's a grapple thing.
Sleight of hand? I mean,
No, it's actually a melee roll because that's what you use for grappling. We'll go with
I'm
that.
gonna
That
pickpocket
would
the
make the most
bird.
sense, I think. All right.
One success.
You grab a bird and it bursts into black feathers in your hands, and it's like it was never there, except for just a couple of little feathers wafting their way to the ground. And when you grab at one, the whole group collectively seems to go hopping and flying and fluttering off into the woods at a fast pace.
Y'all, I swear, I
should
did not grab
follow
that
them.
bird that hard.
Yeah, the second they start making for the woods, I am just gonna start sprinting after them. To see
I'm
if
on
they're
all
like,
fours following you.
Okay, everybody
in a
can make
particular
a move roll to keep up with the flock of birds.
Jesus,
They're going to be flying for a period of time, a minute or two, and you're going to be sprinting through the trees trying to keep up with them. If you succeed on the move roll, you will keep up with them. If you fail, you will fall behind and lose sight.
What if we succeed and fail with our 2 dice?
There is no failure
don't-
on the dice. The
there's
skulls,
no fail.
the skulls do nothing unless you've pushed. That's a triple success right there. I'm gonna assume Grunrock stays behind since he is AFK.
Ooh, I pushed.
The lost
Oh
failed.
wait, I was looking at the wrong roll. That was
Can I-
move.
Can I push?
Yeah, you can push on this one if you want to. If you want to go sprinting in the dark and see what
Ralgar
happens.
rolls a 2, I roll 3, Veloz rolls that many. and
You
didn't
take a
get
point
it.
of damage to your agility, you knock into a skinny tree trunk and get a bruise up the side of your arm that's gonna feel like stiff and sore in the morning.
Grunrock, roll move.
Is
Roll
Grunrock...
one.
Are you rolling into
Chasing
the...
birds.
You can push it if you
Push
want.
it. Push it, push it, push it. Hey!
The whole party keeps up. Grenralk, you also you knock a
Run
knee
into a
against a rock, and it's going to be sore in the morning. So all of you go sprinting off into the forest. This flock of ravens congregates in a single point, several hundred feet outside of the outskirts of town, out in a dark tangle of the woods, and they pile up and pile up and pile up into a humanoid shape. And after a moment, there's a burst of black feathers, and all that's left is a woman with graceful features and long, white, braided hair that seems to blow in the wind, even though there is no wind. She is holding a long hunting spear carved of some sort of white wood. She has pale skin and black tattoos all over her, and she is wearing armor, like light hunting armor of red and black dyed cloth, and she is wearing a cloak of black feathers on her back, and her eyes are solid black.
It's the fucking Morrigan!
And she is standing there, staring you all down as you come huffing and puffing into this clearing.
Can I
And
roll lore?
yeah, you can.
Can we all roll lore?
Yeah, and this one's not going to be pushable.
Oh shit, Ralgar knows what it is.
2 successes will give you good info.
I mean, I don't know if the Celtic pantheon is part of this game, but it sounds like the Morrigan.
I've never heard of what you're saying right now. To me, it sounds like the Raven Queen.
One moment. Oh, I was looking in the wrong book for it.
I just want to make sure I greet her properly, if it is.
Uh-huh. 2 successes. I'm going to read you the full text of the legend associated with this individual. I think, did nobody else got any?
Grunrock got one.
Okay. Grunralk,
Yes.
you have heard of a famous huntress among the order known as the Raven Sisters, named Virelda Bloodbeak, who could turn into a flock of ravens at will. That's what you know with 1 success. With 2 successes, Ralgar got 2 successes. You're going to get the full text of the legend about her. As to how much of this is true, but this is what you know. The Aelander Raven Sisters, meaning from the region to the south of the Great Divide, are known to be a peaceful sisterhood. They discreetly help the villagers with the arts of healing and spells for the harvest, but are hunted relentlessly by the servants of the Rust Church. You've learned this in your travels. Sister Virelda Bloodbeak is not like other Raven Sisters. With her bushy white hair, she is supposed to have started out as one of the sisters of the goddess Heme in service to the Church of Rust. But she is said to have changed sides after having some sort of religious epiphany. She's said to have slain many of the Rust Brothers Iron Guard, who are their warrior class of armed knights that travel from place to place enforcing their will, and is known to be a famous demon slayer. Some even claim that she hunts the cursed armor of Terra Malda through the wilderness. only Ralgar knows all of this. And Grunralk, you know what I told you, which is that she resembles the stories you've heard about some sort of hero or prophetess of the Raven Sisters.
Bird lady, yeah.
Yeah. So she forms up.
Me?
We're going to roll for that in a minute. But we're going to wait. She stacks up birds on top of birds on top of birds, poof of black feathers, and then she's a person. And she's going to scan you over as you all come huffing and puffing into this clearing, and she says, "Can I help you with something?"
Actually, 2 things, if you'd be so kind. First, Palgo? Is that the name of the guy that you knew about, Algar? Is that his name?
His name was Pagog.
Pagog. Do you know where we might find Pagog?
I mean, he's probably under the ground.
Let me look up her lore skill. It's probably pretty good. Please hold.
Why would there be a mummy underground?
Whoa, she's got lore. Holy moly, she's got lore.
She can push it though, right? She can probably push this.
No, it's not pushable.
That's unfortunate.
That is.
Can
She's
chat see all of that? Because that's...
chat can see it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's not a single 6 in that pool. She repeats it back to you wrong, asking what you said. Padog?
I don't really know what I said either. The second thing is what you just did teachable? Because it would be so cool to know and very helpful.
She stoically stares at you as though sizing you up and just doesn't answer your question.
Do you know Marigal? He sometimes just turns into a raven. But that's just a curiosity question.
Her eyes narrow a bit and she leans on her spear and narrows her gaze at you. Still says nothing.
I
Just a
put a
question.
paw. I just put a paw on top of Velas's head and slowly am like pulling you back a little bit and stepping forward. And I just say, Sister Verelda, that is who you are, right?
At this point, when you say her name, she's going to step forward and study you closely as though trying to determine if you've met before. And at this point, I'm going to need you to roll your reputation dice.
Oh boy.
Wait, you mean like she's actually Bloodbeak?
There are some who call me
I
that.
don't know. I don't know whether I want to succeed or fail here, Josh.
Well,
You succeeded.
Oh boy. Hold on. Oh boy. Yup, indeed. Yup, indeed.
It's nice when other people are known for things.
I
The
think
last
I'm the
session-
only one who has not been recognized by anyone.
And you're the one who's trying to get that recognition too. Come
I
on,
didn't go
Brigilla.
that far.
She's gonna step forward and nonchalantly reach out with her very long, like ivory white spear with all of the black etchings along it and point it at Ralgar's throat. And she says, "Tell me one reason why I shouldn't cut you down right here, Rust friend."
And I am paralyzed. with
Summon my dagger.
here. Because I know where there is greater prey for you to hunt, Sister Verelda.
Greater prey than you? Do tell.
We are being followed by Terramalda.
Oh yeah, I challenged her.
And why would Terramala be hunting you?
I do not know her reasons. Its reasons. Frankly, I don't know if it's a boy or a girl. It's tough to tell under that armor. I mean, when you see that armor, it's on fire. There's smoke coming out of it everywhere, and it's a little bit scary. My tail goes between my legs every time What did you ask me?
Silence! She points the spear at your throat again. She looks around at the rest of the party, sizing them up. Everybody else roll your reputation dice.
I've summoned my dagger,
Okay.
and I'm holding it in my hand.
As a reminder, last time we had to fix our reputation values because I think it was double applying the stuff from your age or whatever. So double check if it's correct. She asks you which way Terramaldo went.
I look back at Grunrock and I say, Grunrock, do you want to tell her before she puts that spear through my throat?
Well, she was at Red Hook Redoubt. She pointed her sword at me. I did this. She held up a couple of fingers, and I said we needed to leave. So probably that way.
And I'll point back towards Red Hook.
That's lots of details you failed to share with us, Grunrock.
You didn't have a spear.
She says... She looks around at the party and she says, "You don't look much like Rust Brothers, but you certainly know a lot like Rust Brothers. You've been to Red Hook. Last I saw, it was abandoned."
Thing there.
Yeah, there was a little plant demoness. We killed her, tried to claim the place for our own, but that requires income. We set out for income, and now it's just been an unofficial base that we go back. We fought a manticore there last time, so we had to.
I think.
Uh,
I don't know.
one of those. Yeah, we had to clean up. I wouldn't recommend eating any wild game out there for a while, just in case any of them's got the poison in it. But we're travelers. We run into people, and the Rust Brothers, unfortunately, are all over the place. So they're
Trust
a
me,
font of information sometimes.
the Rust Brothers and I are no friends.
Really?
Really, really. And I'll reach into my backpack and pull out the wanted sign. Because I imagine it's like a Rust Brothers wanted sign.
She looks at it sideways for a second. Looks at you, looks at
You're
the
holding it
picture, looks
upside
at
down.
Oh, shit.
you. Oh, there we go. She's
I know,
going to
they don't
size
ever
it up.
capture my nose, but...
She reaches out with her hand and a gust of wind tries to blow the poster out of your hands towards her. Do you let it go?
I let it go, but then I'll just look at it like... I want this back, just so we're clear.
She snatches it up. And,
They got her nose right on that one.
They did it.
Yeah, it's massive.
they explicitly didn't. We covered that last
This is gonna
session.
be broken.
She looks at it, looks at you, looks at it. She's like, I can see the resemblance.
Well, it's not completely wrong, just kind of wrong.
So you're mercenaries.
Something about her.
Sure, yes. Very broke mercenaries. We are on our own adventures and we try and get money, and it usually doesn't work out.
Well, lots of
We
those
s-
things are honest.
In all honesty, we saw a couple of ravens that weren't really acting like ravens. We followed them. I picked up one. It blew up. My apologies. And then we just followed them because they weren't acting like normal ravens. So if we knew it was you, we probably wouldn't have approached you so aggressively because none of us are that stupid.
Yeah, to be honest, I thought it was Marigal.
Yeah,
kinda
that was
thought
kind
it
of our
was
biggest
too.
fear. We didn't want you to be Marigal.
She's going to reach under her billowing cloak and toss you a small pouch of coins. She says,
Who's you? Me?
yes, for Gello.
Gotcha.
She says, thank you for the tip. Watch out for that one. She points at Ralgar's throat again, and then she turns and attempts to use magic to sprint off very quickly to the north through the forest. However, we're going to need a d6 roll to see if the crown dispels it.
Shit!
Oh,
Hey,
no.
but I want, I want my,
You may stop her. Go ahead and roll that d6.
I believe this needs to be a 3 or higher. Okay.
Well,
She is going to quickly...
It's fine.
She quickly takes on the appearance of like a sprinting deer and goes galloping off into the forest, and there's a white flash and a burst from your backpack, but she's turned her back and doesn't seem to notice it when it happens, and it fails to cancel the spell. And what was it you said just now?
I want my wanted sign.
It just goes drifting slowly to the ground behind her after she polymorphs and sprints off into the forest.
Cool.
And she gone. She takes off at superhuman speed, sprinting through the trees to the north, leaving you all standing out here with crickets.
I'll walk up and grab my wanted poster and roll it up and just put it back in my backpack.
I look inside the pouch. How much money's in here?
5 silver pieces.
Hey, maybe we can sleep in a bed tonight.
It's a bunch of
would be
rocks,
nice.
you guys.
What a bitch.
Oh, well, that could have been much worse. Should we go back to town?
Oh. That depends. Would you like to tell us, all of us, all 6 of us, or all 5?
There's only
Hold up.
there's only 4 of
There's
you
only-
right now.
Sorry,
of us
I'm
here
looking
right
at
now.
Josh. I'm looking at Adam. My brain. Would you like to tell all 4 of us why? No, it would be 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All 5 of us. Why she said those things about you and the Rush Brothers, or just the 3 of us?
I will. Who is the 5th person? I am really
Lynn
glad
and
you-
Dahlia.
They're not here.
That's why I
back into
said.
town.
That's why I said. Would you rather talk to us here, or go back and tell all 5 of us?
We should probably talk here. My ears start to go down and my tail starts to go down between my legs a little bit. And I'm hesitating. So give me a second here to think of something. Think of the right
Think
way.
of something. Do I need to preemptively roll insight?
No, I need to read my notes.
Oh.
So this is my thinking phase.
Think. Oh, if there was only some honey nearby.
Well, you see, the situation that we find ourselves in right now is very similar to the last time that I ran into a Raven sister. You see, the Raven sisters, most of them are good. Most of them help people. Most of them make children feel better when they are sick. But one of them did not. One of them had hurt a child. Or that's what I had been told. And, well, we happened to be in the same town. And the authorities were trying to find her. And I helped them find her because I heard that she had hurt this child. So I used my nose and I sniffed her out and I showed them who the bad Raven sister was. And they took her away and I don't know what happened to her. But sometimes I think maybe she did not hurt that child. Maybe she was trying to help that child. And that is why I am trying to help Lynn. Because I have seen that not all magic is good, and that sometimes children get sick and you just have to help them. But I do not think that Sister Varela likes me very much. She thinks I killed her sister. I did not kill her sister. I did not do that.
No.
And that's it.
Well, at the very least, you indirectly got her captured, so I could see her reasoning. But I
But-
could see yours too. Just
But you were held prisoner in Red Hook Redoubt. You told me
I
as
was
much.
once. Yes.
Red Hook Redoubt was run by the Rust Brothers. If the Rust Brothers were having you help them, why were you prisoner in their fortress?
I was not in that fortress when I helped find this Raven sister.
oh, so you were in the fortress after you had helped find the Raven
Before,
sister.
is that how you got out of the fortress?
No, I was captured after that.
Why?
That's a story for another day.
I feel like that's good. He at least told us that he's not working with the Rust Brothers, at least not in the capacity that she seemed to imply. And I trust Ralgar.
I want to trust Ralgar. Because I like you, Ralgar.
I will
But-
not hurt you.
Everyone...
I do not think I can hurt you.
Probably not. Everyone we come in contact with, though, is hesitant about you. Which
To be fair, everyone's also a little hesitant about you.
Not in the same way. People are hesitant about me because of the way that I look. Kalman Rodenfell, whatever his name is. Kalman did not trust him because of his past things we did not know about.
I'm just saying.
And this person did the same thing. It's not the same, Vergella.
All I'm saying is that people react to people the way that they do. So if people don't trust you, but we still trust you, it's still the same as if like everyone has done stuff in their past that they regret, and it seems like Raugar does regret this, or at least is wondering whether or not it was the right thing to do. He is clearly not an ally of the Rust brothers, otherwise he would probably not have any issue going back to Red Hook, so...
I am terrified of the Rust brothers.
All I'm saying is at some point, I would like to know why. You don't have to tell us now. I'll start walking back to town.
Besides, he's been around us while we were sleeping a lot, and we're definitely still alive. You know, he's watching us, right?
And I'll point towards the moon.
Who?
The Nightwalker. What the hell are you talking about, who?
The Nightwalker?
Yes. All this talk of Rust and Heem and the Raven, whatever. None of them matter. Anyway.
I definitely agree with the none of them matter. I'm honestly just missing the days where I got to irritate Raugar and make good coin at home. So, I'm glad that we got silver.
Music was terrible.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. Let's go back to the inn and maybe look around stuff tomorrow. It's getting kind of dark. The moon's already out.
All right. Back to the inn.
Back to the inn.
We go back to the inn. It is getting towards nighttime, and what would you like to do? Is the group gonna pay for a room at the inn and sleep? It's a small inn. It has one private room for at most 2 people, and aside from that, you'd have to sleep on the floor in a common room. There's not a ton of lodging in this town because there's not a ton of passage through this town. It's kind of away from any major roads.
How much are the 2 rooms again? The common room and the private room?
Yeah, one sec.
I was going to say we let Dahlia and Lynn get the private room, and we could all sleep in the common.
Lodging at an inn dormitory is 2 coppers. Lodging in a separate room in an inn is 5 coppers.
I love that we give our NPCs the private room.
I mean, one's a child and one's Dahlia, who she's been living rough on the road. She deserves to be pampered a little bit.
She's probably drunk off her ass.
She's
on
probably already
money.
asleep.
Honestly, like, that's the other thing, is I don't want to have to deal with her in the common room. Yeah, I guess 5 copper for the common, and then the private, and it's 2 per person for the common room.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Do you guys want to just take it out of the 5 silver that we got?
I don't have any other money.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that. So, I'll pay for it all. So that's 2, 4, 6, 8 copper,
Yeah, I was trying
and
to
then
look to see
5
if I had
copper.
one. I don't think I do.
All right. You can deduct, and as you are paying for lodging in a town where nothing is currently going majorly awry, the night's going to pass uneventfully without anyone messing with you. I will say that when you arrive back at the tavern, Dahlia is staring into the fire, drinking a bottle of mead. She has a bottle and a mug, and she's pouring herself mead. And Lynn is sitting at the end of the bar telling stories to 3 older dudes.
Is she lying, or is she telling real stories?
She's telling the story of the magical battle that destroyed her village.
Honestly, I don't like this scenario at all. But I'll tell them both that we got them a room, and that they can retire to there at their leisure. and I asked Dahlia to keep an eye on Lynn, and I also asked Lynn to keep an eye on Dahlia.
Okay. By the way, side note, Virelda Bloodbeak is on the cover of one of the books, and there's really cool art of her. So, one sec. Got a token.
Oh, I've not taken any notes.
There.
Why you get that pulled
There
up?
she be.
Ah, damn it. Oh shit, she is super cool.
Yeah, she's super hot.
Yeah.
Dang, is she single?
She's on the cover of the campaign book. She's a cool NPC.
Bill, you can't date her or she'll die.
What?
All of your wives die.
I have had one wife die.
How many wives have you had?
Well, one, so yeah,
Okay,
sure,
100%
100% kill
accuracy
rate.
right now.
But one does not make a statistic.
Vergella, you killed your wife?
No. Velas killed my wife.
Velas and Grunrock killed his wife.
Look, no,
What?
now you want to share.
I'm
Now you want to
innocent in
share
this.
kill counts just because you don't want to take the blame.
I'm innocent in this.
She was a plant demon.
I just
She
chopped off
wasn't
a branch
actually
or
my
two.
wife.
All right.
I am too tired for this.
The night
I am going to sleep.
will pass uneventfully, and we will awake in the. One sec. I don't
In
have
the 1 sec.
in the 1 sec. Yeah. Yeah, it's morning time in the inn. There's just coughing. That's all that's going
Just
on here.
coughing.
Everyone, time for your morning cough.
It's always a crapshoot. I hit the almost empty mode on the tavern sound set, so this shouldn't be people wildly partying, but we'll see what happens. All right, so night passes, morning. You can make food and drink rolls, or you can pay to not by purchasing food here if you want to.
Does
much
a
is
private room come with food and drink?
No.
Oh, it did at that place that tried to kidnap us.
A bowl of
Yeah.
stew covers your daily need of food. A hearty meal covers your daily need of food and water.
Oh shit! Look, they updated
I
the
love
food
that. It shows the
water
shape of
rolls.
the dice. Yeah,
That's
with the
so
colors.
cool.
Nice.
Now we know how close we are to the number. Oh well, Ralgar's out of food.
While we're here, can I go ahead and pay to fill my food dice back up?
Yeah.
How does that work?
You can purchase rations, and they cost an amount. One sec.
While you're looking
Field
that up,
rations. One silver gets you 1 die worth of field rations. So you can pay 1 silver to go
Heck,
up
that's
1 die type.
How much is like just raw meat or vegetables to cook?
I don't know. I'll check.
Yeah, that's a great point.
A unit of vegetables is 4 copper. A unit of fish is 5 copper.
How many copper and a silver?
10.
10. It's 10 to 10 to 10 to 10. Copper, silver, gold.
No,
You said it
that's
was-
true.
You said it was 4 copper for a unit of vegetables and
Yeah.
5 copper for fish.
Yeah.
Looks like
I
we'll
have
go with
I have
vegan.
I have 9 copper, so I will get just
Actually, we're not on a water. So actually, no, they can get fish here. There's nearby water. So yeah.
okay. Yeah, I'll just get rid of my 9. I'll get a unit of vegetables and a unit of fish.
Okay. There's no
And-
visible water source. There's not like a river flowing through town or a lake or anything, but they do have fish, so there must be something
Okay.
nearby. It'll tell you that
I
much.
will spend the morning cooking if people want to
Someone check some water.
go on adventure. I know, right? That's
God.
probably Dahlia, honestly.
honestly, probably. Can't
Yeah.
hear you,
I'm gonna spend the morning cooking. So you guys do whatever you want adventuring, and then just meet me back here.
I'll buy 2 units of vegetables, and Bill, I'm gonna give those to you to cook for me.
Sounds good.
If you can. We'll see how you
Yeah.
roll.
I should be able to. I'm confident in my skills. Unlike in real life.
Your cooking better be better than your music, Friggello.
It'll make you sing nonetheless.
I like when you are punny.
Josh, are there any other wanted posters that are hanging up other than the 2 that we took down?
No.
Oh, it was only the 2 of us?
Were you gonna go on a bounty hunting thing?
No. Maybe?
I was.
Okay, I'm gonna go to the bartender. Is it still Alder? Or is it a different person?
Skeldar? Skeldar?
Skeldar? Did I just not...
Oh,
Sojar? Skaldar?
Alder's somebody else. Unless I mixed him up last time. I have the innkeeper down as Skeldar.
It might be. That sounds right.
Okay.
It's
Skeldar.
I talked to someone's dad, Sojar.
Mm-hmm.
And that was... Okay, Skaldar.
Skeldar is the barkeep guy.
Okay. Skelder. Fixed in my notes. Is Skelder still behind the counter?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna walk over to him. Hey, Skelder.
Good morning.
Good morning. 2 brief questions for you, if you've got the time. The first, do you have any knowledge of any orc encampments that might be around? Particularly, and I know this is kind of a long shot, the Urher clan?
The Urher clan.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. Barkeeps tend to have the lore skill.
I was gonna say, they got the gossip. Woohoo! 1 success.
Yeah, he's got a little something for you. 1 sec. I need to get my deets together before I give you the answer. What's your other question?
My other question is, did he have any work that needed to be done? Or
Okay.
do you have any work that I could
Sure.
make a little bit of money?
1 sec. I was hoping the second thing would be something I could do quickly while I'm looking up the other thing, but that's not the case, so 1 sec.
The answer.
I have a quick question you can answer.
Yeah.
Is the Urher clan the one I want?
No. They're not. They're not.
Okay.
I have noted the one that you want, and I don't remember it off the top of my head, so I'll tell you. But it wasn't the Urher.
Okay.
I'll get that for you in a minute. You can ask about that too if you want. Okay, one thing at a time. The Urher clan of orcs, well, I believe those are the ones that dwell in the great forests of the Fulenmark, which lies across Lake Varda.
I'm sorry, where?
Well, let's see. From this village, if you travel southwest a short distance, you will encounter the shores of the Great Lake Varda. Should you travel to the opposite side, you would find yourself eventually at a great mountain range at the base of which is a great forest called the Fulenmark. And I believe the Urher orcs are the clan that have taken up residence in that region.
Coolio.
I'll see if he has 1 or 2 details, but I'm not going to go too deep on anything because he only got 1 success.
Do we have
So,
a game map anywhere in our handouts?
No.
No? Okay.
just your world map. Here.
Okay, cool. Thank you, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Southwest.
He says southwest you'll hit a great lake called Lake Varda, and that if you travel to its far shores, you'll eventually encounter the forest called the Fulenmark, where those orcs dwell. And he probably knows if he knows what they're called and where they are, he probably knows like 1 or 2 key details about them and not any deeper than that. So, give me 1 sec.
That's still more than I thought he would know, so...
Yeah.
I'm really glad I talked to this guy.
Let's see here. The Urher orcs fancy themselves empire builders, and they believe that they are mightier and more sophisticated than all other orc kind. Rumor has it they are trying their best to build great civilized cities, which no other orcs have really put much thought or effort into, if the tales are to be believed.
Well, that is very, very helpful, Gildar. Thank you.
I want to come walking over, just like kind of growling as I'm making my way through the inn. You know, just morning growls. I pull a stool aside, plunk myself down, and my tail's just kind of wagging. And I sit next to you, Velas. And I want to look up at him, and I want to say, I want to ask you a question now. Can I ask you a question?
You're asking who? The barkeep?
Yeah, him.
Oh, certainly.
Where do you bury your dead?
Super creepy question.
I'm sorry.
Well, I was just wondering. I'm looking around, and I don't see a cemetery. I don't see a crypt. Where do you bury the people that die from your village?
I believe there is a cemetery on the outskirts of town to the east side in the forest. I can't say I can recall the last time we had to bury someone there.
What do you mean?
Well, it's been quite a while since anyone's died in the village.
Oh, that's probably a good thing. Would anyone be mad at us if we went and looked around the cemetery? Would we be upsetting anybody?
Well, I'm sure that the townsfolk would rather you didn't desecrate the graves of our ancestors, if that's what you're asking.
Whoa. Okay, I might be a wolfkin, but that was pretty racist to think I'm gonna desecrate a grave just because I'm going to a graveyard. You have offended me greatly.
I meant no offense. I simply why. We don't know you, and if you are grave robbers, I would ask that you look elsewhere. As you come into our town inquiring about the location of buried ancestors and...
We're far from grave robbers. One of our party members hails from the Hollows.
May I ask then, if you are not grave robbers, then what interest do you have in the graves of our town?
I just like to pay my respects to those that have come before me. It is something I do everywhere that I go.
And again, one of our members is from the Hollows. You know how they can be sometimes.
The Hollows?
Yeah.
I believe I've heard of it.
Okay.
Think a little harder. Maybe roll some dice. I bet you have.
Oh, how about I tell you a joke now? Would that cheer you up?
No. Please, go. Do what you're going to do, but leave the graves of our people alone. It's been some time since our town guard have had to take up arms, and to be honest with you, half of them are probably drunk out of their wits, but they will not be happy if you molest the graves of our ancestors.
I will not molest anything. But thank you for the information. You spoke very, very clearly. You are not a mumblebee.
A mumblebee. Good lord. All right. Is there anything else to say to him, or are you going on your way?
Are you leaving? Adam?
There's a very long stare down between the two.
I get up and I start walking out the door now.
All right. He's out of here.
About that work that you may or may not need done.
Right. Right. Please hold for that for a second.
Oh, we got a good night's sleep, so I can reset all my stats, right?
No, you're not allowed to.
Yeah, that's correct.
I look back over my shoulder and I look at it, I go, "You're being a mumblebee now," as I walk out.
I'm gonna draw
Thinking.
a picture of Ralgar
Thinking.
and hang it up. My own wanted poster.
Someone starts drawing like little like stick figure puppies next to on all your posters.
He says that the locals don't require any chores around here, but that if you are planning on traveling afar, that they don't get much contact with outside places, and that he would pay you to to deliver mail, basically, to deliver messages depending on the direction that you're heading when you leave town.
I guess when we head out, if you want to like jot something down for me, I can.
They would pay you up
Train.
front to deliver mail in the direction that you're going if you tell them where you're going.
Well, I'll follow up on that. Was really hoping that someone would need their chimney swept or to carry some heavy bags of flour.
He says,
I am
"Well,
both agile and strong."
He says, "Well, if you ask me, the town forester's place looks like an absolute embarrassment. I don't know if you've had a chance to meet him yet. His name was Garst. He was the drunk guy that you met right when you came into town who didn't want to leave his house. And
This is the one I bought my arrows from.
Yeah. He says that Garst's house is basically falling down because he's too lazy to repair it, and that it's an embarrassment on the town, and that if somebody could fix it up or convince him to fix it up, that he would pay you a modest sum for making their town look nicer now that it's possible for visitors to come and go since the breaking of the blood mist."
I'll head over to Garst's house then.
Okay.
Hey, Vergello,
I'm gonna knock on the
come
bar.
see the graveyard with me.
I am cooking all of this food so we don't starve.
Oh, fine. Grunrock, do you want to come look at the graves with me?
Sure, in a minute. I have one more question for the bartender.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Grunrock, we'll do you first.
Since you know about some orcs, have you any knowledge of the orcish clan that attacked the shroud?
Let's see. Got you. But I need to check. So please hold. Why don't you go knock on the forester's door, and I'll jump back to Gwenrock when I get the answer to his question.
Knock, 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 knock.
You hear "Go away" from inside.
I can't.
What?
Knock, 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 knock.
Are your feet stuck in quicksand? Do you know what
Yes.
time it is?
Yeah, it's morning.
Hardly. Dare say the sun's not even up. And he just stumbles over it. The sun's been up for a long time. And he opens the door and he's squinting and he's still holding a bottle in his hand.
Hello.
What?
Hi. We've not met. Though I think that you frequent the bar over there in town, so you may recognize my face.
Only when I need a refill.
Doesn't answer that statement, but that's fine. My name is Velas. It is so strange to meet your acquaintance here today. I don't suppose that I could convince you to repair the outside of your house. Because I certainly would not feel up to that task. Do you have anything I could use to repair the outside of your house?
You want to repair my house? You think I want to hear all that hammering?
I
What?
said I was going to use a hammer.
What are you even doing? Who are you? Are you some traveling stonemason?
Do I look like a stonemason? I mean, I got guns, but
Well, you're offering to do the work of one.
yeah, I'm trying to make a little money.
Some desperate mercenary.
Yeah, actually, if you would like to pay me more or give me like arrows or something for some other task that you need done outside of repairing your house, I would much prefer to do that. Do you have anything that you want done other than for me to leave? Because unless you have something you need me to do and can pay me for it, I'll be fixing up the outside of your house.
You can do a chore for me if you like.
Okay.
I can pay you in mead.
I'm gonna need something other than meat.
Fine, I'll pay you in coin.
Okay, cool. What you need done?
There's an old witch that lives, half a mile that way out into the forest. She's not around very often, but we make sacrifices to her so that she'll bless our town and all that sort of thing. And I killed this deer, and he gestures around to the back of his house, and he's like, I don't feel much like dragging it up there and setting it on fire like I've done 20 times before. And to tell you the truth, I'm not sure it makes any difference at all. But the town elders make me do it, and they let me keep my house, so I do it. But if you want to go do it for me, 5 coppers for the trip. You don't even have to kill it
Silver.
yourself, it's already dead.
A silver.
A silver? Are you mad?
Sometimes.
6 coppers, that's my final offer. Otherwise, I'm gonna
7
go take a nap.
coppers.
No! 6!
6 coppers and a glass of mead when I get back.
Fine. If
Hell
you'll tell
yeah.
me a good story.
No, I got tons of those, and I'll just walk into his house and go pick up the deer.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything loose of interest that I see?
Your bottle's all over the floor.
Oh, yeah. Grunrock, back to you real quick. The Iser Orcs. The Iser Orcs are the clan that has stormed through the Shroud, and you believe you have encountered in the past.
Can you spell that for me?
ISIR. And they are particularly ruthless and murderous orcs. You believe that they have taken their name from the orcish warrior caste, and they worship some sort of warlord who leads them. Okay. Anyway, you said you were peeking around his house, Velas?
100%.
Okay.
While I'm walking in to grab the deer.
Oh, it's a giant garbage dump. There's bottles strewn about. The place a mess.
Nothing valuable in sight.
You don't see anything shiny or valuable looking from the front door, no.
I'm walking inside to go grab the deer.
It's in the back of the house. It's not in the
Oh,
house.
it's not in the house. It's in the
No, it's in the
outside
back,
or
yeah.
in the back.
Mhm.
Gotcha,
Some
gotcha,
would
gotcha.
say
Sorry.
behind the house.
You said in the back. I thought it was like in a
Yeah,
back.
yeah. I also thought it was in the back
like-
of the house.
Cool, you
I
got a dead
three
deer
so
just thrown in the kitchen.
That's what I meant by in the back.
Cool.
Right.
All right. Cool.
Who was going to the graveyard?
Grunrock and
I'm
Grunrock.
going with Ralgar.
All right. The Ralgar and Grunralk are headed for the graveyard. It's Adam's fault. You two are headed for the graveyard in the direction that he gestured to you. There's barely a trail here. You can vaguely make out that there's a little less undergrowth, like there was a trail out in this direction somewhere that used to be more heavily tread, but you're basically walking over underbrush and stuff to get out here. And you can make out a clearing with maybe 100 or so graves out ahead. Little weathered headstones overgrown with vines all over the place. And
Is there anything that looks like it may lead underground? Any
So.
crypts or mausoleums or?
make a scouting roll while traveling on the outskirts of town.
I'm not much of a scout. Here we go.
Nice.
Hey,
I'm going to tell you something that is more immediately evident, and then I'll tell you the result of the scouting roll. You are walking among these graves, and most of them state years, names, family sigils etched into the headstones, and they are all fallen down and weathered and not very well kept. And many of them state the professions of the people, or a little quote or something about them carved into the stone, which is a good deal of effort for a village this small and remote, for somebody to go through the trouble of etching individual stories and markings and things into these headstones. You notice, walking among the rows of headstones, that about 2/3 of the people in this graveyard have homes that are listed. They say of such and such place, or of Harga, or of Marga, or of whatever place. About 2/3 of the people in this graveyard are not local, and they are stonemasons. For whatever reason. That is, you would expect maybe 1 or 2 stonemasons in a town of this size, and somehow like 60 of these graves are stonemasons, which seems insane and unlikely to you, and many of them say that they are from places far from here. So that is unusual. Your scouting roll will give you that there is a faintly tread path, much like the one that you walked on to get out here, that was a bit difficult to spot, heading away from the graveyard deeper into the forest. And out in that direction, you do see something very akin to what you were looking for. One sec. Let me give you the exact details on it in a moment. Let me see.
While you're looking that up, we'll have a little banter. Grunrock. Does it seem kind of, I don't know, strange that there are so many stone builder people that died here?
I mean, most of the houses are built out of stone, right?
Well, yeah, you're right about that. But why did they need this many? And did they all die around the same time? Can we look at the dates, and does it look like they died over hundreds of years, or are the stonemason dates kind of suspiciously close?
When you start specifically looking for that, you see that most of the stonemasons died in a 20 to 30 year period, very close together, and that most of the graves that are significantly older than that, or significantly newer than that, well, there are very few that are significantly newer than that, and most of the ones that are older than that are more the ratio of professions that you would expect, and much broader spread of years, and those look to be the older ones on the north end of the graveyard, which seems to be older. So it seems like this was an ordinary town's graveyard, and at some point there was an influx of dozens of stonemasons from foreign places who worked here, stayed here, and eventually died here.
Oh, I'm getting the heebie-jeebies. This is way more stonemasons than you would need to build a village like the one we have been staying in. I think
Yeah, that is kind of weird.
And then Ralgar notices something. Somewhat ancient, beaten down path through the underbrush, leading up a little hillside, kind of winding upwards into the forest, over rocky, rough terrain, and as you follow it, it circles a little hillside, and
we're following it.
You spot buried, but partially revealed, like covered in sliding, eroding dirt, a circular stone doorway with a vertical crack down the middle, with what appears to be an ancient depiction of a gargantuan bee on it, with a peculiar skull pattern down its thorax. And this whole circular stone door has like a divide down the middle, like the two halves can be slid apart, but it is caked in soil, overgrown, partially obscured, and you could only find it by rooting around in the brush and finding the old path. You start dig.
I say, hey, Grunrock, I think we should go in here, but I don't know if we should do it alone. What do you think?
Why not?
I like the way you think. Let's get to digging.
Oh, it's whiskey time. All right. So, yeah, it's going to take some leverage and a couple of minutes of strain, but you can pull those stone doors open.
While we're digging... Oh, thank you. Hey, what would bears be without bees?
Battlestar Galactica.
They'd just be ears. Dig, 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 dig.
Grindelwald doesn't really get it because he can't spell, but he's just laughing. I'm just kidding. You could probably spell.
He can spell orc.
He can spell orc. He can spell Iser orc. He's learned that one inside and out.
Does that mean if we got stung on the ears that we turn into a bear?
Oh, maybe let's try it.
All right.
No, we should keep digging this door open.
All right. You dig open the door. It takes a few minutes, which means back in town, your friends have been gone quite a while. You can still hang around. You don't have to do anything. I'm just telling you that time is passing, and that your friends have been gone for a while. Yeah, go ahead.
I, knowing that Velas had talked to being in the bar, which she was talking about trying to convince that curmudgeon that I dealt with to clean up his place, I'm going to cook specifically the vegetables with the soup stone that I got.
Okay, sounds good.
Whenever someone eats the food, I get a +3 to manipulate them.
Okay.
So I need to roll 2d6.
What? No, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
He found magic. He found a magic roofie rock. It's fine.
I remember that. It's just he's cooking food for me.
Oh.
Yeah. But I'm cooking food in general. I'm cooking some of your food too. I'm cooking all the food.
He's gonna force me to like his music.
He might.
All right. So that creates 5 units of food within a quarter day.
Okay.
Because I create 1 extra. Am I allowed to distribute that food right now, even though we're not together? Because that's kind of a lot.
Yeah, they won't have it until you meet with them, but you can preemptively do it if you want, just to save time. Just make a note that you don't have it until you meet each other.
You have 2, for sure, because I know you're at 0. Amy, Hank.
I have a D8.
I also have a D8.
Okay, then I will give myself 2. That'll put me at a D10, I guess. And I'll take that 1 last unit of food. That's the one I'm serving to the dude. The forester. So I'm just like that D6 isn't going to anyone.
All right, sounds good.
That's a great plan.
And I'm gonna do that as soon as I can, which will probably be the next day, the next quarter day.
Okay, sounds good. I'm gonna jump back to Ralgar and Grunralk here. You've dug out the door, and you've managed to pry it open wide enough for an average-sized person to squeeze through. And you've pried this thing open, and you are looking inward down a long descending staircase into darkness of finely carved stone. There appear to be unlit sconces with torches in them at each landing as you make your way down this staircase, and you can see like 10 or 12 steps down and then a landing, and then 10 or 12 steps down and then a landing, and then further down into dark. It is a huge ass staircase going deep of finely crafted stone with torches in the walls.
Does it look like the torches can come out of the sconces?
Yeah, they're just sitting in there.
I'll take one and light it and hand it to Ralgar.
I am very good at holding torches.
Yeah, you are, big guy. Keep a tight grip. I'll be right back.
I'm gonna take off running down the stairs.
Okay. Wait. I try to follow.
All right.
Go down.
You light up
I'm gonna
that torch.
count down to the 5th landing, and if it's all just kind of like still down and down and down, I'll come back up and meet him.
There's no 5th landing. It goes down to 3 before you see something else.
Okay, then I will go to the edge of the darkness and try to see what's going on.
All right. You have reached the base of the staircase after 3 landings and 4 sections of stairs. Did you lit the torch that you pulled out of the wall?
And gave it to Ralgar. Yes, I'm using my nocturnal night vision.
Okay.
Gobbledygook.
First of all, the torch is burning very quickly because it's quite ancient and dry, and it is also stuffed with perfumed herbs that fill the air with a sweet scent. And you feel relaxed while breathing in the strange smoke of these herbs. At the base of the staircase, there is a huge stone doorway, intricately carved with artistic, nature-looking markings of leaves and things, and a huge symbol of a beehive on the front of the split door, and it looks hinged like you would have to push it inwards to open it. It's about 10 feet tall.
I'll just wait for him to catch me up at the bottom.
Ralgar, you get to the bottom. You see the same.
Catch up to it, and I'm like, wow. these it looks like plants. hey, Grunrock, what goes zub zub?
I don't know. Why are you laughing so much?
It's a bee that flies backwards.
Wait, how does it fly backwards?
Does this torch smell good to you? I like how it smells.
Smells like grass.
We should open this door.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
No, let's do it.
All right.
Yeah, Velocwood. Let's open it.
So, here's the situation. I have hand-sketched a version of this map because the one in the book had some issues and inconsistencies, and so we have a scribbly version of a map that has a nicer-looking but less accurate version of the books. So, we're going to be going off my
favorite.
We're going to be going off my scribbly
Are
doodles.
we in a dungeon? Are we in a dungeon?
Yeah, you're in a dungeon.
We're in trouble, Adam. I'm just gonna go on record as saying that.
This is not made up. There was legitimately an entrance to this place on the outskirts of town that you could only find by searching the outskirts of town for an entrance. You just said that you wanted to look, and I was like, damn, he's going to find the outskirts entrance. That's going to be amazing.
Oh boy, my friends are really going to like this food. I hope they don't die in a dungeon somewhere.
Uh-huh. No, this is going to
Case
be
in
great.
point, if Adam dies, can I have his units of food?
No. If Adam dies, I'm burning his food.
I'm going
in a
to
sacrifice to the bee god.
kick us over here and try to recenter us here. So,
Hank,
Yeah.
I have no willpower. I have 0. We haven't had anything to push.
all right. Who opens the door?
I'm assuming me, because I'm probably a little stronger.
I'll allow it.
All right, I'm going to.
I'll push the door open and then peer into the darkness.
I'm gonna roughly reveal what you can see with your torch radius here, and here we go.
Run up. I've got dark vision.
A shadowed space yawns before you, dominated by a hexagonal font dripping honey over the eyeless skulls ringing each bowl at each corner of the fountain. It's a giant hexagonal honey fountain. At each of the 6 corners, there is a bowl with a skull, and there's honey pouring out of them. The center of the fountain is filled with honey, and the whole fountain has been leaking for some time, so there's kind of a big puddle of honey around it. It appears there is a huge yawning chasm beyond a row of columns that can be walked between on the far edge of this antechamber. To your right are several benches along the wall, and to your left it appears that there is a much smaller stone door built into the wall here. You're looking at the sheer scale of this place going, stonemasons. Because this shit takes some serious work to carve into the earth.
Wow. I kind of want to try that honey. I bet it's really yummy.
Either that or it's really terrible.
Well, that's a good point. Should we explore more, or should we go get our friends?
Probably should go get our friends, but
Let's go get our friends.
let's try the. Yeah, let's go get our friends.
Let's go get our friends.
You gonna go back?
Yeah.
All right, you go back.
Before we fully leave the area, I want to not fully rebury, but at least loosely cover the doors that we had to dig up.
Okay. Sounds good. Just sort of
Try to
toss soil
hide our
over it, make
tracks
it a
a
little bit
little bit.
concealed. Okay. The one other thing I'll note, those torches are dry and burn quickly. The torches that you each grabbed are dead, and that's 2 of the 6 torches that were along the walls.
I've got a D8
On the
torches in my
staircase.
pack. We're good.
I'm just telling you that 2 of the 6 that were on the staircase there are toast. So, let's jump back to town. What's the rest of the party be doing? What's they be doing?
Cooking takes a quarter day, so
Velas
Okay.
is an Aaron girl right now.
Oh,
she
yeah.
went to burn a deer.
Okay. You gonna drag the deer to the top of the hill?
Yep, I look for a witch altar.
All right. You travel towards the outskirts of town. Yeah. You travel towards the outskirts of town. You follow the path. This is not the same kind of ancient overgrown path they were walking on. This one looks... It's not a well-kept, like, road, but this path is traveled in recent times. It's just a dirt trail winding its way up into the hills, the opposite direction out of town from the direction that Ralgar and Grunralk went. And eventually you see a hilltop with no tree cover. It's like a hole in the trees. And on that hilltop is an old, creepy, kind of collapsing hut that looks badly weathered, and like the roof isn't very well kept. It's got some purple and red flowers growing around outside of it, all along the hillside, and a little fence surrounding a small yard where it looks like there's a badly overgrown herb garden. And there's a sign on the fence that says, "Intruders do not enter here." And at the fence, on the side of the road, outside of the gate, is an offering bowl with ancient burned bones inside.
Does it look like there's anyone in that house where the fence is?
You see no signs of anyone. There's no smoke coming from the roof. You don't see anyone there or in the immediate surroundings.
Hello? One comes to make an offer?
Offer. Nothing. Just the echo of your own voice.
Cool. I'm gonna toss most of the deer into the bowl. As much of it will hang over. And I'm gonna set it on fire.
Okay. You're watching the flesh burn from the deer.
Hope
Smells pretty
this
good.
is the right place.
Yeah, so you're burning the deer in the bowl.
Mhm.
And you see no sign of anybody or anything nearby. And it burns. And several minutes pass.
I count as an intruder if I'm just trying to ask a question? I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna leave the gate open and I'm gonna walk up to the witch house and knock on the
Okay.
door.
Okay, you knock up and walk on the door. You hear shuffling inside after you knock on the door, scraping, scrambling, and a moment later, you hear a man's voice say, "Begone!"
Well, can I just ask a quick question?
What's your question?
Is this the witch's house where I'm supposed to burn the deer, or did I just royally
Yes.
mess up?
Yes, I saw your offering. You're supposed to leave it and go. You
Oh,
wait
I
24 hours if you want to inquire of the witch. Do you have business with the witch?
Not just some questions. Is she still alive?
Of course
Who are
she's
you?
still alive.
Okay. Well, I mean, she didn't answer the door, and no one answered when I shouted.
No one's supposed to answer. You leave the offering and you come back in 24 hours if you have anything to inquire.
Why?
Why? What do you mean, why?
You wait 24 hours if I'm already here. I mean, it's not like you're close to town.
He cracks the door open. It appears to be a young man in dusty commoner's clothes with yellow eyes. And he says, "Who are you?"
I'm Velo. What's your name?
"I am Winchell."
Hi, Winchell. Have your eyes always been that, like, amazing yellow color?
"Yes."
That's super
"What business
cool.
is it of yours?"
Well, I've only ever seen those yellow eyes a couple times. Or eyes like that, I suppose.
He slams the door in your face and locks it. Chunk.
Well, that was rude. It was a really nice woman in the hollows.
There's no answer.
Rude.
What'd you say?
I said, that's so rude. If I come back in 24 hours, can I talk to you again?
The Oracle will meet with you then.
But I want to talk to you.
I don't speak to strangers. Goodbye.
I'm not a stranger. You know my name now. And I know yours. And I think I know your dad's. And your sister's.
You hear the latch
I like to
slowly
travel.
being undone. And then the door cracks open again. And he says, "If you don't want any trouble, I suggest you say nothing of what you know and move on from this place."
Okay, I'll say nothing of what I know, but I would like to know more. So if I come back in 24 hours, can I bring you like a glass of mead?
I don't want your liquor.
Can I bring you a glass of milk?
Why are you bothering me?
You know, my friend Vergello says I bother a lot of people. I'm just a very curious person by nature.
The Oracle has agreed to give guidance and blessings to this town in exchange for sacrifices. She will arrive within 24 hours. She is traveling right now through the forest, and she will be here to talk to you tomorrow if you wish to speak to her.
I wasn't burning the deer for me. I was burning the deer for Garst, I think his name is.
Good. Then the
Town.
blessings upon the town will continue.
Cool. So if I come back in 24 hours, I can talk to you some more?
No. If you come back in 24 hours, the Oracle will give you an audience if you wish it. But do not waste her time, because she has a high temper and she will not suffer fools to waste her time.
Asking questions makes me foolish,
Yes.
but I'm seeking wisdom. How does one seek wisdom if it is foolish to...
Perhaps you should ask the Oracle.
You just told me I shouldn't ask the Oracle.
Come back tomorrow if you want to speak to her.
But I want to speak to you!
I can't help you. And he slams the door again and the lock.
I'll see you tomorrow!
There's no answer.
I'm so glad we got a chance to meet. And I'm somehow not surprised that you and your sister are so similar. But you said you didn't want anyone to know about your sister or your dad. So I'll keep that all up here. Have a good day. I'll try to just walk back to town.
There's no answer. All right, you walk back to town.
Yep.
Okay, Velas and Ralgar and Grunralk are all going to get back to town very close to the same time as Vergella's finishing his cooking. So we reconvene at the tavern.
Josh, can you tell me that guy's name again? I didn't jot it down and immediately forgot it once you told me.
Winchell.
Winchell.
He sounded like a Winchell.
You know, he did.
Adam, you're
Adam, are
muted.
you
He looked like he
Or
was
you
maybe
muted?
he looked like a youngish guy, maybe in his like early 20s, in overalls. Kind of smelled a little bit.
Speaking of smells, does Ralgar smell like herby?
Oh yeah, smells fragrant.
Ralgar is high as balls right now.
Do the bees seem to react around him at all?
Not in any particularly new way. No, they're
Okay.
still giving you a decent berth.
Not birth. Well,
Oh, hey, Vergello. Hey, what do you call a bee that's got messy hair?
I
A
don't know.
frisbee.
That doesn't even make sense. No one knows what that is.
He's
Here's
been
your
telling
food.
these weird bee jokes since we. Wait.
He's
don't know
been
if I'd
like
call them
he's
jokes.
been like convening with the gods in his dreams and getting jokes that don't make sense from some other world.
I need to not yell this. Come here.
Hi. Oh, not me.
We found a cave.
Yeah.
Grunrock, I don't mean to be like aggressive or anything, but you sound a lot more attractive when you're whispering. Just saying, if you're trying to get with Dahlia or anything, just don't yell.
Lynn's looking back and forth between the two of you.
It's right over there. Why would I be trying to? Oh,
A dungeon?
no,
Cave?
shut up! You're too loud.
I'm whispering.
I can hear you really good.
Are you?
Anyway,
Yeah.
yeah, kinda. I marked it so I can show you where it is, but it doesn't seem like.
I think it's where Pugog is buried. Either we're gonna find his body or we're gonna eat it. What?
There's a weird torch that made the big guy act funny.
You're not that high. You're just a little relaxed.
Don't light the torches.
It's maybe dangerous. I don't know.
Well,
There
it
are honey
sounds
skulls.
sounds promising and fun. I was gonna stop by the Forrester's house to try and convince him to clean up his place, because I imagine Velas immediately gave up on that when she realized she's not good at convincing people of things. Is that true, Velas?
I was going back to the dude's house to collect my money.
So she'll stumble in to the tavern.
Yeah, I'm not there right now.
Happens.
I'm supposed to give 5 copper and a drink, and supposed to be swapping stories with this guy.
Let's jump back to Velas for a
We can
second.
go to the huntsman or Forrester's house or whatever, and then we can find Velas.
Yeah, I'm heading over there, so we'll probably meet her over there.
Hey, Dahlia,
Okay.
Lynn, come on.
Huh?
We found something, and I don't want to leave you behind. Come on.
Okay. She stands up and goes with you. So where are you headed? The Forrester's house? The
Yeah.
whole gang? Alright. Whole gang's headed over there. Once again, daytime, bees buzzing all around the town, people harvesting honey from the rooftops, townsfolk milling about. You're still drawing a lot of attention and glares because you stand out a bit here. And you're making your way across town to the Forrester's house. And Grunralp, you're walking with Lynn. You notice, as you are walking alongside her, a bee land right on her neck and go crawling around the side of her neck towards her face. And then you notice another one land on her. And she swats a little bit, and then you notice a couple of bees kind of aggressively buzzing in her direction.
Don't
And she
swat at
starts to
them.
get
Don't swat at
agitated.
them. Don't
She
swat
says,
at
but they're trying to...
them. Don't swat at them.
They're trying to sting me.
I'm gonna grab one and eat it.
She stares at you quizzically for a minute. Velas gets to the front door of the guy's house.
Don't attack them, and they won't sting you.
Velas?
I knock on the door. Hey guys! Had the craziest morning.
What did I tell you about knocking on my door in the middle of the... Oh. Hello.
I'm here for that copper and the drink.
Come in.
Cool.
Did you burn the thing in the place? Tell me what it looked like. I want to know you actually went there.
I will describe everything I saw.
All right, all right.
Is that the right place?
Yeah, he tosses you a little pouch of coins.
Sweet. I open
And a
it up.
bottle.
Is it actually 5 copper?
Yeah.
Cinch it, toss it in my backpack, slide the bottle in there.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever talked to the people at the house there? Sorry, my story is to come.
I try to avoid it. There's a young man who's some kind of caretaker, and then there's the old oracle who shows up from time to time, who blesses the town.
Yeah,
She's mostly
supposed
off doing other business in the woods.
Does she actually have a temper? You know.
Oh, I've been told to steer well clear of her.
The caretaker seemed a little grumpy too. But then again, Vergello says people don't tend to like me. Can't imagine why.
Lynn screams, and she has a bee right in the middle of her face on her cheek, and it flies away, and you see that she has just a big red bee sting right in the middle of her face, and she cries out and grabs her face, falls to her knees, and there's an explosion. Grunralk, Ralgar, and Vergello, who are all outside, you're all going to have to make a move roll to dive for cover, because she's going to shockwave a significant portion of this town square. Vergello?
Question. How close are we to the crown, which is on Amy?
I'm just inside.
Go ahead. Oh, the crown's on Amy?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's in my backpack.
I don't remember the distance, but if we were outside of the building or we were close, then...
Yeah, they're right outside of the house.
It's short range. I'm going to 50-50 it. I'm just going to flip a coin. Hold on. Whether it's in range or not, because it depends exactly where everybody's standing.
Right.
I'm standing on Amy's backpack.
Ralgar?
I'm getting a piggyback from Grunrock.
Even's in range, odds out of range. You're in range of the crown. So
Okay.
go ahead and roll a d6 for the crown. It's going to need to get at least a...
3? That's what you said last time. I don't know if it changes.
It needs to get a 6 to block this.
Did
This
you
is a
say
huge
you're
spell.
standing on my shoulders, Vergello?
No, that he was saying
I said I was getting a piggyback ride from you.
This is a big-ass spell going off. The crown will only
It
block it
failed.
on a 6 on a d6.
You have to... He rolled what you needed to roll higher then, so you need to roll and get a
Oh, I
6.
need to roll. Oh, I'm sorry. I
Yeah.
thought that was the roll. I was like,
No,
wow,
roll a d6, see if the crown blocks it. It'll only do it on a 6.
Oh!
She falls to her knees and grabs her face and screams, and you see like a bee between her fingers, and she's like clawing at her face to get it off, and the ground starts to ripple under her feet, and she puts her hands on the mud, and the mud starts to ripple out from her hands, and then there's like a shockwave that starts, and it gets about 6 inches out from her body, and then a white orb crushes it back down into her, and there's just like a whoomph, and dust gets kicked up a little bit, but the spell is dispelled, and there is a white flash from the cottage that tears a hole in the side of the cottage, leaving a big circular hole in the wall where the crown's spell blasted into her spell and dispelled it. So you're standing in the cottage having a conversation with him when a shockwave comes out of your backpack and blows a hole in the side of his cottage, and the crown... Ding, ding, bang, bang,
It
rattles
comes
to
out
the
of my
ground.
backpack?
It destroyed your backpack. So the crown lands dead in the middle of the floor in plain sight in front of the guy who's still standing there with a bottle in his hand. There is a gaping hole in the side wall of his cottage, and Lynn's spell has been contained, but everybody saw a shockwave of white light come out of the cottage and do something. struck into her.
Kill him.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
drop
kill
my
him.
backpack and see if it just trying to drop it onto the take it
Uh-huh.
off and drop it onto the crown. to
He's
cover
standing
it.
there with a bottle in his hand.
What are you looking? My follow-up question is, why did you put this hole into your wall when you knew that I was coming back
My
to
house.
do repairs?
What? What did you
And
do to
when-
my house?
What did I do to your house? What did you do to your house? I left to sacrifice.
No, don't you fucking lie to me. He points at the
lied
house.
to
I
you.
saw what just happened. And he's pointing at the hole.
No, you.
What is that? He's pointing at the crown on the ground.
I just tossed the remains of my backpack onto it. What's what? My backpack?
That gold crown full of rubies.
Gold crown full of rubies. How much have you had to drink?
Let me see that again. Bring that over here.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Walk over and hand him my pointy hat with the pyrite in it.
Get that. He swats it out of the way. He's like, hold on. Lynn's looking a little baffled at what just happened. What'd you say, Amy?
How drunk are you right now, Garst? How drunk?
Barely.
That can't be true if you're asking me what I did to your wall. You're pointing at a non-existent crown on the ground. Maybe you should have a...
Get your magic. Get your treasure. Get out of my house. I don't want all this trouble. I don't have time for it. You're going to pay for that wall before you leave town.
I needed to rebuild the wall anyway.
Kill him.
Forget him?
I've not approached the house specifically. I'm not near you guys.
You're outside by Lynn.
I've stepped away from the party to break away from this group. He doesn't know that I'm with y'all, so.
I think with all that you've had to drink, you should have a good hot meal. You should lay down, try and relax. I am going to get some wood to do those repairs that I talked to you about. I think that you maybe have had too much to drink, but isn't hair of the dog when you drink the following day to try and help from the drinking of the previous?
Enough! What business do you have in our little town?
Just passing through, man, trying to make a little bit of
Then
money.
keep passing.
I thought you wanted me to fix the wall.
You can afford it.
Can't! I just burned a deer half a mile from your town for 5 copper.
2 silvers to patch the hole, 1 silver to keep my mouth shut, and you won't hear from me again.
I've got that much money. Please hold while I check how much money I have.
Gosh, I want to run up to the house at this point, looking frantic.
Okay.
What was the guy's name again? We've said it a couple times. but-
Garst, isn't it?
Garst. He's the forester in town. He's got things tanning outside of his town, out of his
Okay.
house, and
Yeah, I want to run up to where the hole is. Where they're like, Garst, are you okay? There's the hole just appeared out of the side of your house. I was coming to bring you some food to thank you for the arrows. What happened? Are you okay?
I'm as confused as anyone. You can ask this treasure hoarding elf over here.
Who are you? What are you doing here?
My name is Veloz. I just sacrificed a deer on behalf of Garst for this town, and I came back, and there was a giant hole in his wall after I said that I would repair it for him. I think he's had a bit too much to drink.
You can
think-
stop saying that now. And then he takes another drink.
Yeah, I think Garst is pretty under good control of his alcohol. Garst, they're staying at the inn. I can tell them to just keep an eye on them, and we'll make sure that they pay. Why don't we just try and figure out how to patch this up for the evening, so you don't have to sleep the rest of the morning off with a big hole in your wall?
Why, thank you, good Samaritan. The materials are nearby. But I want her away from my house so that she doesn't destroy it again.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Go back to the inn and don't cause any more problems. And don't leave town without paying this man. How awful could you be to do that? What kind of people come to this town, Garst? Really?
I mean, if you're going to rebuild it, do you still need the 2 silver to rebuild it, or just the 1 silver?
we'll get the money from you later. Just go. We don't want to blow another hole in the house unless you really want to build the whole thing from the ground up.
Ralgar and Grunrock, Lynn is standing up and looking, and she's like bleeding from the fingernails and shaking.
I am dragging her to the altar.
The altar in the middle of town?
Yarp.
Okay.
I'm gonna pick up with the remains of my backpack, cover the crown as well as I can, and hold it to my chest.
Okay.
I am so offended.
You can wrap it up in the tatters of your backpack to keep it concealed if you want.
Side note, are all of the contents of my backpack now destroyed?
No, just spilled everywhere.
Okay. Okay.
I'm gonna go to Garst and give him the stew that I made. Be like, I'm so sorry you have to go through all this. Here, just sit down, eat. I'll go grab the materials and try and fix up what I can. We just at least patch up this hole a little bit. I was coming to see if you wanted to try and get the barkeep off your back about this place, and maybe we could clean up the place a little bit just to have people to where they stay away from you as much, because I know you get really annoyed when people interrupt you. It's so early in the morning.
We've got enough workers in town to patch up my wall. I just want the money to pay for it and the peace to be left alone and the insurance that my house will not get destroyed again. So I want her away from it.
She's already gone out of here. We'll make sure she doesn't come back. Here, eat some food. I'll get the materials. We'll talk to some workers about fixing up everything. I got you, man. Thanks. I mean, as thanks at least for selling me those fantastic arrows. So
You're a good man, Vergello. And then he takes another drink and starts eating your stew.
perfect.
I'm gonna scramble up all of Velas's belongings that I can stuff into my bag and then follow her.
Okay. You all walk outside. Ralgar, you've got the girl at the center of town in the altar. She's got a big swollen bee sting on her face now.
I pick up, I like lift her hair a little bit, and I just with, I don't know, whatever knife is on hand, I just cut a bit of her hair or like chew a bit of her hair off, put it in the altar to light it on fire.
What are you doing?
Silence.
It's
And
burning
that's
up.
what I do.
That's my hair! It burns away.
It'll grow back.
The cloud of bees around her seems to be dispersing to a wider radius.
Oh, okay. We need to do that every day while we are here. But I do not think we should stay here for more than another day. All right, come on, Lynn.
This is what I get for only putting in one copper piece, and then she stomps away. Yeah, that's right, I kept track. You bastards.
We're so poor!
I know.
Maybe if the DM would give us more money.
God
Nah.
should consider it relative
That'd be too
to
nice.
financial status and not monetary value.
Uh-huh.
Is
Yeah,
everyone
well, then-
together?
Then maybe her hair will go a little longer.
I'm not together right now. Josh,
Alright.
I want to try and convince him to. It's gonna be difficult, but after he's eaten his stew, I want to convince him to just have the builders fix up his place, and I will give him 2 silver, not just to fix the hole, but to try and get this whole place cleaned up and fixed up. But obviously, it'll fix the hole in the process.
Mm-hmm.
And let them do up his place and try and just basically convince them, like, if you get this place fixed up and cleaned up, people will leave you alone, and that's exactly what you want.
Alright, go ahead. Make a persuade roll.
Manipulation. Add 3. 1, 2, 3. Do I activate my pride only if I fail?
Yeah.
Only if you
Okay.
fail.
Do I need more? Yeah,
No.
you said you had to tell me if I need more, right?
Yeah, no, you don't need more.
Okay.
Yeah, you convince him to let you wipe it away with money, basically, and you're with him for a period of the morning and into the early afternoon, and he gets very, very drunk, and he confides in you that I don't know what that elf is up to, and frankly, It seems like a lot more trouble than it's worth. I just wish she'd go away and take all her treasure and magic with her. I came to this small town to live in peace, and enjoy my drink and be left alone. And this is way more than I signed up for. It's kind of the vibe you get from him.
Okay. Yeah, I listened to him, and
You leave with the feeling, based on what you said to him and how he was acting, that he probably is frightened and doesn't want to meddle in what happened further, and you think he'll likely keep his mouth shut, at least for the time being. That's what you'll get for your persuade roll and your 2 silver.
Do I also feel like
He seems like he just wants to be left alone, and this is all freaking him out.
Do I feel like this place will get properly cleaned up, and I can tell the innkeeper that, and hopefully recoup
You've given him
this?
enough money for the locals to pay for the repairs, yeah.
All right. Then yeah, I'll go back
The
to the inn
situation
to try
seems
and-
taken care of.
So I remove 2 silver, and I tell the innkeeper all of that, and hopefully he gives me more than 2 silver. That way, this isn't a net loss.
This is not my fault.
The innkeeper giving you money for what?
There was a quest for our group to get old
I love that you
man
interpreted
Forstore
this as a quest.
to get his house cleaned up. Remember?
Oh,
Velasquez,
yeah.
Look, I take quest recognition.
Well, he asked you to fix up that guy's house, and now that guy's house has a hole in the side of it, so he's not going to hand you money right now.
No, but I told him, I just fill him in to say, like, hey, he got a hole blown in the side of his house, he got a house blown in the side of his hole, and I gave him some money to try and get the whole place fixed up. So
all right.
I'm hoping that once it gets fixed up, you can pay me back for making sure he gets his place cleaned up.
The innkeeper offers you free lodging for you and your friends for the week, as well as meals.
You know what? Thank you.
For convincing the guy to fix up his house, and he says, well, maybe now that his house is blown half to hell, he'll actually fix it up properly, and thank you for giving him enough to cover it, and I would like to cover you in exchange for that, and he's gonna house and feed you guys for as long as you want to stay in town, up to a week.
All right. Well, thank you very much. And I just mentally counted as that's 2 silver gone. But it wasn't 3.
We can still
There's
kill
that.
it.
It'll net out to more
we
than
can
that
just
if you
kill
stay for a while.
Yeah,
Buy a backpack.
You can buy a backpack in town.
and I go meet up with the group
Okay.
after I just fill in the innkeeper.
Okay.
You know how much a backpack is?
I'm looking it up, but let's not hold up for it.
Right, for sure.
4 silver.
All right.
Is the group together?
We're together.
Backpack 4 silver.
Silver for a backpack?
Oh, yeah.
Did I see a backpack in this guy's house anywhere?
No.
But yeah, it was on the wall that has the hole in it now.
If you pay for a private room, it'll have a foot locker where you can put your stuff temporarily if you want. Oh, wait, you have a private room. This guy's lodging you. You have a foot locker. You can take whatever you want on you and stow the rest. Or somebody else can carry your stuff. Or you can buy a backpack for 4 silver.
I don't have any silver, bro.
Well, I will say what's hilarious is
You
a
can use
hole in
my
the side of this
backpack.
man's wall was 2 silvers, and a backpack cost twice as much as that.
You haven't seen this guy's house. It's like... It's
Yeah, I mean,
like...
fair enough. I'm not arguing that. It's just kind of funny to think about.
It's
this man's
tanning
house
and
is terrible.
stitching and... Yeah. Anyway.
No
I mean,
worries.
Rogello, you may be able to convince him to give you a backpack. If he's like the tanner and the hide, then he's got the leather.
Lynn is
give
outside
my
now, and
bag.
she's looking around like, what happened? And she's...
should-
Or not Lynn, Dahlia. And she's looking at Lynn's face like, oh god, did you get stung? She's like, obviously.
Let's leave town for the day. Let's just go on an adventure. We need to make ourselves scarce.
That was the morning, so... You want to kick it on to the daytime?
No. I just want to go home.
No.
Backpack, and I'm putting the crown and the rest of
All
this.
right.
And he's putting his stuff in the storage locker.
Yeah.
Are Lynn and Dahlia off talking to each other?
Sure, they can be. You can find an opportunity to talk without them if that's your goal.
That's my goal.
All right, goal achieved.
Okay.
Did I throw enough wrenches in all your plans?
Not in mine.
The bee sting heard around the world.
You didn't put any wrenches in my plans. Everyone else put wrenches in my plans.
Okay.
Specifically Lynn blowing up.
Okay. Voss, I am tired of being a fake dad to this pup. We've got to find a way to get rid of her. She is dangerous.
Fucking kidding?
No, but I don't want to kill her. I want to cure her, and I think we can. Because while I was sleeping last night, listen.
I'm listening.
While I was sleeping, I remembered more clearly what my master had told me, and I do think we are onto something. Because Agog, he was called the Demi-Lich of the Dankwood, and what he did is he used some magic to inject honey into his body to slowly mummify his body one piece at a time, but it made him immortal. And they say he is now living or dead, or I don't know, they just say he's beneath the Dankwood. But me and Grunrock, we found where he is. I think we found where he is, and all we have to do is get 1 pound of his flesh, give it to the girl eats the flesh, and she won't have her magic anymore, and we can ditch her happily in a town that lives forever. I think it's a good plan.
You found the corpse of a demi-lich,
Oh no, we found where the corpse probably is.
and we know for a fact
He didn't say demi-lich. He said honey lich.
Honey Lich.
Oh, yeah, the honey lich of the Dankwood, not Demi. Frankly, I don't know the difference. So yeah, the honey lich.
One sweeter. I'm assuming, I mean.
But the door had a big bee on it, and then we went down these stairs, and then there was a torch, and it smelled really good. But then we opened another door that had like nature and more giant bees, and there was a honey well, and it was dark, and I think it's down there. And if this doesn't cure the girl, I will stop fighting for her. That's all I'll say.
Let's just go to this dungeon.
There
Grunrock?
might be treasure.
Oh!
Oh yeah, I was on board going anyway.
I think we should wait 24 hours.
Why?
Because there's a witch who might know about this honey lich and be able to tell us if eating a pound of flesh or just a mouthful of honey will fix it, or if she knows a way to cure Lynn.
Volos, if this is where the honey lich of the Dankwood is interred, if anyone else finds this out, they will stop at nothing to find it.
I think we
So
should just
if we
explore
tell
the
other
dungeon.
people what we found, it might not end well.
Yeah, especially considering that we were specifically asked not to poke around the graveyard.
It was outside the graveyard.
We neglected to mention that prior.
I also don't think I would trust any words a witch is going to tell us on it. And it seems the general consensus is the curse that's on this girl is pretty extravagant and that there's not a definitive way to remove it. But eating the flesh of a honey lich in a dungeon that we've been trying to explore, dungeons in general, seems like at the very least we could kill one of 2 birds with 2 stones, maybe 2 if this honey lich flesh works.
I think we should stop trying to kill birds. That did not work well for us last night. With the Raven sister.
You were threatening her.
Jeez.
I knew what you meant. I didn't try and kill the bird. I just picked it up. It popped.
Dahlia will step... Oh, wait. You're having this conversation without them. Never mind. specifically said you were.
Here's my thinking. I have no problem exploring a dungeon and hopefully finding something of value that can be sold to buy a new backpack. However, I also don't think talking to the witch is such a bad idea. I think me talking to the witch, probably not the best idea, but Vergello is very good at talking to people. And
I think-
this witch is not a bad witch if she shows up and blesses this town with longevity.
I don't think the witch is blessing the town with longevity. I think that's coming from the honey. I think it's coming from their diet. I think it has to do with the bees and the deity they worship. I don't doubt this witch may or may not have power. It could totally be. But we have made the mistake in the past of introducing ourselves to people of great power, like quite literally our Raven lady from earlier, and end up having a spear to our throat or a sword or getting chased away. Like, I honestly believe just explore a dungeon. If the flesh cures the girl, then we don't have to talk to the witch. Because what would we ask her? Where the next gem is for the crown, and then she knows where the crown is. Maybe she works for Marigold or knows Marigold.
Care about the standing gist at all.
I know, but I'm just saying there's nothing for us to ask her, because the stuff that we would want to ask, we wouldn't want her to know about.
Okay, so we try this honey today, and if it's unsuccessful, are we opposed to talking to the witch?
If our girl here isn't cured with flesh, then we'll go talk to the witch about removing a curse.
All right, take me to your honey dungeon.
Sweet.
Ah. Honey, you get it? Okay. So do we set off? It's daytime now.
Yes.
All right. The walk is short enough that it's not going to consume the daytime going there. You can just go there, and we will treat the
We need to
daytime.
buy any supplies, but we don't have any money, so I guess we're not going to buy any supplies.
Nope.
All right, we head out. Let's go. So you're going to venture outside of town. It's going to be a hike of about 15 minutes out past the graveyard, up a little winding dirt trail to a concealed hillside where there is a stone door, partially buried in the soil, bearing the ancient etching of a large bee. It is openable by pushing the two sides of the plate apart. And down below, who knows?
Text comes across the screen. It says, "Area discovered, Tomb of the Honey Lich."
These bees are spelling out real weird words right now.
What's the situation with Lynn and Dahlia? Are they being left behind in town, or are you dragging them with you?
We get free rooms at the inn. They're
staying.
stay there. I
Just
think.
clarifying. All right.
Yeah.
Dahlia's fine with that. If you were gonna, the reason I said she was gonna step up a minute ago is if you said you were gonna take Lynn with you, Dahlia was going to object on the basis that she's been in dungeons with you and you don't want that girl near that kind of situation.
And hey, if we spend long enough in this dungeon, maybe we'll come out and the entire town will be leveled.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe we'll all be dead and we won't have to worry about her anyways.
One could hope.
Either
So,
way.
yeah, you make your way down to this entry staircase. This is a huge, finely constructed stone staircase with smooth stone steps with thick ancient dust on them. At the base of 3 landings, there is a huge double door, and we need to figure out the torch situation. There are 4 more torches on the staircase that you could just grab off. They've got those strong-smelling herbs if you light them up, and if you do that, you don't have to make any torch rolls for the first pass. It's up to you. Do you want to use your own torches, or do you want to use the herbal torches on the walls that burn up quickly?
I have no torches. I can see in the dark, and I passed off my backpack to Valas, so I'm going no torch.
Okay.
I've got a D8, so
Are
what do
the
you want, Bluff?
torches actually making us high, or was that just how Ralgar was reacting? to
You have
them?
no idea. so I'm not going to answer the question. I know that Ralgar and Grunrock started feeling very relaxed when they were immersed in the smoke, and that it
Do I recognize the
smelled
smell
like fine herbs.
of the herbs? Like, is it familiar in any way?
You can make a survival roll.
Oh, I'm great at those.
Did I also make one?
Sure.
Can I
Let's all
push the
roll
survival
survival.
roll?
No. This is a you know it or you don't.
I just want to get some willpower, Josh.
I know. I know why you want to push it.
Yep.
It smells sweet and delicious, and Ralgar and Grunrock report feeling very relaxed while immersed in the smoke.
I would not have wanted to get in a fight while I was smelling that smoke.
I would
gonna-
have.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
take
you
the
would
torches.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take the at least 2 of the torches, and I'll put them in my pack, and I will light the third one.
Okay. All right, so you light up one of those torches. Who else is carrying a torch? Anybody? Going once?
got
Ralgar, can you hold this torch? Because I have to shoot a bow if we get into any fights.
Yeah, I don't mind. I will hold the torch. I am good at holding torches.
I'm gonna walk just behind Grunrock with my hand on his shoulder.
Okay, I'm putting green dots on the people with the fine-smelling herbal torches.
Oh, Vergello handed it. Oh, well. I'm the only one with a lit torch.
Oh, you
Yeah.
gave it to him, so you don't have
Yeah,
it.
he wants to have his bow ready.
All right,
And I
Ralgar.
have the 2 other
All right.
not lit.
I'm assuming this door is shut again, so you can open it and show them what lies beyond if you wish.
I wish.
Thank you, Grunwalk, for opening the door for us.
Yeah, they push open the door, and it's the description that I gave earlier. So there is a huge chamber with stone pillars ahead of you, and between you and the stone pillars, there's a huge fountain overflowing with honey that is flowing through bowls with skulls in them. So there's like honey pumping up through the skulls and flowing out into the bowls and then overflowing into the fountain, which is overflowing onto the floor. It is a giant mess of honey pumping through skulls.
I want to walk up and just, like, I'm going to get down on kind of all fours. It's easy for me to go between all fours and all twos. Right? I'm a wolf. And just, like, very delicately down at the puddle on the ground, just take one little lick of the honey.
It's
And I just want to
delicious.
see what it tastes.
It is so delicious.
Oh,
It's
man.
like fine.
I'm gonna
herbal honey.
I'm gonna have a few more licks.
Okay, you're gonna have a few more. Like, you've honeyed.
I empty out all D12 of my water skins and fill it with honey.
Do you actually?
No, of course not. I need water, not honey.
Yeah. So you honey. I have. It has been noted for the record that you honey, and it is so delicious, and you are not the least bit hungry after honeying. That will sustain you for quite some time. This is very delicious, very filling honey.
Oh, this is so good. Do I have anything that I could scoop some honey into? Oh no, my cauldron's on the donkey, and the donkey is not in town.
I'll offer him my hat.
Where's your donkey?
Where is our donkey? Did we leave it in?
It's in town.
It's at the
I'm
end. isn't
almost
it?
riding it.
It's a
Yeah, it should be in town.
Well, let me see.
It had the cooking thing on it. It's got to be.
I thought Sir Archibald Truffles was at the end.
Ralgar bends down. He tastes the honey. There's a moment of suspense, and he turns around and says, "It's delicious!" And then he has some more.
So good.
And he's sitting there feasting on honey. His flickering torchlight illuminating about out to as far as you can see here. There are benches to the right. There is a stone doorway built into the wall to the left. And yeah.
Should we go through the doorway or through the columns? What do you see, Grunrock?
Yeah, I was gonna say I want to peek through the columns, and with my nocturnal such and such, what do I see?
Yeah, I'm going to give you a broader radius here.
Yeah, you are.
This is a little funny shaped because there's some obstacles occluding, so I'm going to give you kind of your perspective here. Boom. Revealed. Let me adjust the map position so that people on the stream can see. There we go. All right, so you see a couple of things. I'm going to describe what you see to the left, which is just a wide open chamber with high ceilings. You can't see to the far edge of it, and it looks like it branches off in several directions, to the southwest, to the northwest, and to the northeast, many different directions. To the northeast, obviously, there's some features over there. And I'm going to describe what you see. One sec. Please hold, your call is important to us. All right. Scrolling. You see marble statues. Those look like cubes, but they are actually marble statues. And they look like people in varying poses of agony. Some of them are grabbing their faces, some of them are crouched down, some of them are laying on the ground clutching their chests, some of them are crying out with screaming faces. You can't make out too many more details than that, but you can see that this is a grid of human statues carved into some light-colored stone in twisted and miserable states of agony that appear masterfully carved. You can tell even from a distance that these are like realistic looking people. And they are quite disturbing and repulsive looking from a distance. And they are all faced roughly to the northeast towards the silhouette of some larger statue that you can't make out because it's beyond the reach of your torches from where you stand.
I'll relay the information, putting emphasis on them facing towards something that appears to be larger.
Mm-hmm.
It may be better to start with that corridor.
And I'll point towards the area down here.
Simply for ease of
doorway?
access. And to be quite candid, I don't know if I want to turn my back to that without knowing what's in there.
Makes sense.
Pick oak.
We.
I am going to nod, and I'm going to slowly back up to where, probably out here close to, and I'm going to do something I should have thought to do probably before we came in here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to reach into my backpack and I'm going to pull on the crown.
Okay. You're putting on the crown? All right.
Indeed.
You know how to communicate with the crown now, so you're whisked away into the black void with the stones hovering around you in a semicircle, and the voice of Nayad, eldest and wisest, says, "You returned to us, Valas. There was a magical disturbance recently."
Yes, the child that I spoke to you about is maintaining her status as an issue.
I see.
But we're trying to fix it.
Is that why you come before us?
Kind of.
I hear tension in your voice. Are you in danger?
Possibly, probably. When am I not these days? Do you know anything about Pagog?
Pagog. There's a silence.
Honey Lich?
I know not of what you speak.
Oh, come on. They says that he lives, tried to live forever. We're trying to cure the child. And Ralgar believes that eating a pound of Pagog's flesh will heal her and remove the curse from her. You don't know anything about a honey lich?
I've never heard of any such dark magic, but it sounds most troubling. I advise that you be wary of such sorcery wherever you encounter it. And be wary of any legends claiming this to be true.
Phenomenal. I'm in a dungeon right now that I think might be its home. So...
Nebulos says something generic about how the pursuit of immortality is always a dark path, and that yada, yada.
Yeah. That's a lot of bold talk from someone who had the opportunity to live forever and gave up on it. Okay.
He says something about how humans are not meant to live forever, and that those who seek such power are trying to violate the laws of nature, and that it always leads to dark outcomes. And that you should be wary of this place and anyone associated with it.
Does the crown work better if I'm wearing it as opposed to holding it? Follow-up question.
Work better?
Well, yeah. When it went off earlier, it blasted a hole in my backpack. And I don't exactly have 4 silver to buy a backpack.
Blah blah blah. Inflation joke.
4 silver. That could buy a city. No. No. There's a general silence, and he says that the short answer is that no, the crown's magical properties will not will work the same whether it is carried or not.
Cool. Last question before I possibly take you off, because I haven't really figured out if there's a way to see like the regular world when I'm wearing this crown. Right now it's just a black void with your dot. We'll follow up on all that later.
The answer is that when you focus and channel to try to communicate with the gems, everything fades away from view. But you can wear the crown and not be in that state.
Sweet. Okay. The phantom dagger. You guys know about that. Does it count as magical if I try and use it when I have the crown?
Nebulos will chime in and say that the phantom daggers have their own contained magic in the form of a permanent enchantment, and that the crown will try to dispel the casting of magical effects in its immediate vicinity. It will not affect enchanted artifacts or things that are imbued with magic, and it has no effect on latent magical fields in its vicinity, but it has protections on it that keep spells from being cast on it or near it. So if any new spell is generated in its vicinity, it's going to try automatically to nullify it.
Cool. Okay. Sounds great. Nebulos, I might follow up with you at a later date about how to build a backpack, but... Oh, and you have to tell me how to build a fishing net. Don't think I've forgotten that.
Backpacks, right. Fishing nets, 2 silver pieces.
I'm taking it off.
You're taking it off, and you hear him go, "We're used to interacting with royalty, who are absolute..." And then he's just gone.
Hey, you said that I was the voice of the generation. Take it back.
All right. We're back in the deep dark dungeon on the staircase. Grunrock is standing in the dark alone in the tomb, and everybody else is up the staircase waiting on Velas to snap out of it. So,
Velas, did you talk to them? Yeah, what did they think of our plan? What did they think about Plan B?
Grunrock, you hear a distant buzzing from somewhere.
But said that we shouldn't particularly pursue dark magic. I told them we were already here.
Is honey magic innately dark?
Even if I knew the answer to that question, your character would not.
I was asking Velas because she just said...
What I mean to say is I know the answer to that question, I'm not telling you.
But now I have a feeling there's honey magic in the world.
Grunrock is gonna like slowly walk over to the fountain and just take a big handful of honey and then walk back over to where he was standing in the dark.
Okay.
While
you're eating some honey. You are sustained and do not need to make food rolls until further notice.
While our elf friends are very friendly and nice and knowledgeable, I do think that they lack perspective when it comes to other beings trying to reach immortality. So maybe we should just move forward and figure out what kind of honey shenanigans exist in here. Oh, did it say anything about the net?
So much in words. This time, it felt internally like an eye roll. However,
See, I feel like I need to talk to him again because he was really with the idea before. I inspired him with my phrasing on fishermen.
Yellow,
Like,
Lalas, can we focus on what we're doing here? I swear, you and this fishing net. I mean, I want one too, but now's not the time.
look,
The
we'll
wolfkin
go
has a
after your
point.
honey wizard, but let's just go.
Every time I walk past the fountain, I like Ted Lasso dipping his fingers in peanut butter. I'm just getting a scoop. It's so good.
All right. Yeah, it remains delicious. It's quite good.
It's delicious.
All right, Grunrock, the light is back. You're not standing in the dark alone anymore. Not that you care about the dark. And, yeah,
Run
so
Rock, you're more sticky than usual.
I know.
take it away. You guys are in control here. We're poking around in a honey dungeon.
What direction do you want to go?
actually, I did it on my back. Never mind.
Grunrock, you're our guide.
Down the hallway.
Let's go.
Should we be in any specific order here in case a fight breaks out?
I'm in front.
Should I do
Grunrock is just through the walls. All right, there is a doorway here. Hold on. Grunrock got squished. Where is it? Hold on. His token got squished. There we go. I gotta zoom in to even be able to click anything. Everything's all crowded.
Easy now, y'all. I'm tiny. Can't be squishing me.
All right, so there is a stone door of normal size this time, built into this carved wall. Yeah, who opens it? Does somebody open it?
I volunteer.
Grunrock volunteers as tribute. All right.
I'm gonna pull the door open or push it. I don't know which.
Oh, it
It's
I
pushes.
feel like the
It pushes
door,
in.
the door off the lobby is usually like where they store the coats and stuff. You know, when you're entering like a temple.
Maybe they have.
There's not gonna be any more.
I'm gonna open the lich coat closet.
Fingers crossed for a backpack.
Or a dope ass hat.
All right.
Room closet. There's just a mop in there.
Grunrock
With the
pushes
mop in
open the stone door with an ominous. And
It's actually a half bath, and the lich is in there pooping.
Here we go. One sec.
Just stacks of gold.
All right.
flushes the toilet
There's a
with
little
the
bit of
pouch.
torchlight flooding in from behind you, even though you are not carrying a torch yourself.
Big old beast.
So, I want to say something once before we go any further. So, this is a pictographic map. Things are not to scale. It's just icons that I sketched to represent what's in the room. So, I'll describe the room, and what's drawn here is basically icons to remind you what's in the room. But don't assume that everything is to scale.
So it's
So-
not a giant beehive.
It's not that giant. And there's a lot of things that are going to be kind of representative, but not exactly what you're looking at. So, a small idol of a bee made of expertly worked, shiny, translucent yellow gemstone and polished black stone sits atop a massive papery beehive. There are several crude stone basins, along with a mural on the far back wall from you. Above the mural, there's an ivory statuette that looks like some monstrous hybrid of human and queen bee. A body simultaneously insectile and angular and disturbingly fleshy and bulbous. Hideous half-human, half-bug idol on the far wall from you. The room is redolent with buzzing and a sickly sweet scent. So, you have a mural on the back wall that you can't fully decipher without getting closer to it. You have some freaky, creepy, half-human, half-insect idol mounted high up on the far wall. And in the center of the room, you have this giant beehive.
Are there bees?
There are bees. Yes, that's the buzzing. So the room is filled with bees that are actively living in this hive, despite it being in a dark underground cave, apparently isolated for an unknown period of time. Somehow there are living bees buzzing all around this beehive continually.
Where
I
are the
wanna walk in and kind of waft the smoke from the torch around and see if it has any impact on the bees.
Okay. You step just inside the room and do that?
Yeah, just inside, just to where
Yeah.
wherever I can find, bees. buzzing
You do
around.
that, and it seems to not. The bees will fly through it and buzz around it, and there's just a few near you, but they seem mainly concentrated toward the center of the room, and there's not a clear, distinct effect of it on the bees.
You said something about yellow crystals.
There is an idol on top of the beehive, and that idol looks to be made out of some translucent yellow gemstone. It's bee-shaped. It looks nice and valuable, but it is sitting on top of a giant beehive.
I'm gonna remember you're here.
I want to move around and check the other side of the room. Does it
with
continue
you.
on, or is it just end in a dead end on this side?
One moment. As you walk past the beehive, a massive swarm of bees comes out towards you. We're drawing initiative. Grunralk is just going to get assaulted by a massive swarm of bees as he's crossing the room. So place yourself somewhere around the map. I'm going to go top to bottom on the overlay here, starting with Vergillo. You are on 8. Velas, you are on 3. Ralgar, you are on 10. Grunrock, you are on 7.
Always at the back.
And bees go first on 2. Does anybody want to switch their initiatives around before the bee swarm acts? You start
I
to
would like
see
to
it
switch with the
erupting
bees.
from the hive. You cannot switch with the bees, but you start to see the bees erupting from the hive and get a chance to swap your initiatives if you want to.
It's the bees, it's me, and then
It's the
Grunrock,
bees.
and then me, and then Ralgar.
Yep.
I thought for some reason I heard Ralgar, but my brain translated it to Grunrock. I was like, I might need to switch. But cool.
Oh boy, Grunrock, we should get out of here, close that door, and cover ourselves in honey.
Let's do it. Is there any swappery, or are we going straight to the bee swarm that's erupting out of the hive towards Grunrock?
I mean, Grunrock, I don't think you want to swap with me. I'm 10.
I think we need combat music.
I'm okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll be okay.
All right, one sec.
Hang on, I'm trying to find bee combat on Sirenscape.
Bee combat, yeah. One sec.
Is it just like an insect buzzing noise? You should just play that for the rest of the dungeon. Just
Sure it exists.
Here's some music. We'll see how this goes. All right, so you're walking through the room, and as you get close to the hive, the side of it just erupts, and a massive bee swarm comes flying out in your direction, and they are going to swarm all over you. One sec. Stats for this. Okay. Right, got it. Sorry, I had to check the stats rules for how this swarm thing works. Okay, so the bees are going to come rushing towards you. You may attempt to dodge but not parry if you want to give up one of your fast actions on your turn, or you can let them go ahead and attack. This does not from eyeballing it, I know this is a horrifying thing, especially the way I described it, but from eyeballing it, this will hurt. But it is not likely to be immediately deadly unless they overwhelm you for some prolonged period of time.
I'm gonna try and dodge.
Okay. Go ahead and roll dodge. And I'm going to roll an attack for the bees. And you get +1 die to the dodge because you're still blessed with bee protection.
Someone help me. Where's dodge?
So you get an extra skill die on the dodge.
Move.
It's a move roll,
it's
yeah.
near duck, dip, and dive.
Yeah, so you can add 1 extra die to this for your offering to the bee altar and the bee protection.
It's a lot of dice for only 1 success.
Bees got 1 success. You cancel 1 success with your dodge. You hit the floor, and the bees go rushing over you and swarming around you. And you can tell that they're trying to get at you, but you are moving and dancing and dodging, and you avoid getting stung. We then go to initiative 3, which is Velas.
I'm looking at my team, trying to decide whether or not does this.
You're not even in the room.
I was right behind him.
Oh, I'm just looking at the map.
Sorry, I mean, I'm right at the door. No, sorry, you're right. I wasn't all the way across from him. I was just to the doorway. Does it look... You said a swarm of bees.
Yeah. This is
How
hundreds
do
of
we-
bees pouring out of the hive.
Okay. Is this something that... we
Game
feel like
rules.
we would likely-
Game rules on swarms. You can attack swarms with any kind of weapon. However, if it is a kind of weapon that can't reasonably hit a ton of bees at a time, well, weapons in general by default are not good for fighting swarms, and so you can do at most 1 damage with an attack. It'll cap at 1. If you have like an area attack of some sort, like a spell or something, you could potentially do damage to the swarm directly, but most weapons, unless they're specifically designed for this purpose, are going to be doing 1 damage max on an attack.
If only we had that fishing net.
I have a fishing net.
If only we had that magic time.
Bees are way smaller than fish. I don't think a fishing net's going to help you.
We coat the fishing net in honey.
Does it
It might be
feel
a
like
thing.
a really
thinking.
large troll-sized swarm?
This is a
or
swarm
like
of strength 5,
swarm of strength 5.
and you will have to do damage to it 5 times in order to effectively disperse it.
Okay.
And if you stab 2 bees with your dagger, you
That's
go
1.
crazy.
That means there's 10 bees total.
I mean, I have 2 attack actions, so I can hit
My
it
pl-
and do 2 different damage.
My plan is to run out of this room and close the door. We can always reopen the door.
Well, if you do that, will you grab the expensive glass statue? I'm gonna run up and I am
It
going
would take me. That statue is at the top of a beehive.
Yeah.
So I
Velas,
probably
if you
have
want to
spend an
get
entire
the
turn climbing.
if you want to get the idol, you have to move to the hive as an action and then snatch it off as an action. And it's
Oh,
going
is
to
it,
take
like,
up both of your
grabbable
hands.
from-
It's going to take both of your hands to hold it. No, you're going to have to shamble up the side of the thing a little bit and grab it off, and it's hefty, so you can't wield a weapon while holding it. It's
Go
hefty
for it,
and it's on
Velas.
top of a hive.
Would
This
you
is the-
rather I get money or attack the bees?
I think it's very in character for you to get money and laugh at Grunrock while he's running away from bees.
Are you running away from bees or fighting bees?
I've successfully dodged them once.
There's only
Yeah,
so
we're
much
not
discussion that
gonna
can reasonably go on here, so I'm going to cut it off and say
yeah,
Velas
Velas,
has to
take your
decide
turn.
what to do.
I am gonna move to the beehive and I'm gonna climb up and snatch it.
Alright, you climb up and you snatch the idol. It is hefty. It counts as a heavy object, which is 2 items worth of carrying capacity, and it takes up both of your hands while you're holding it. You are now holding a big gemstone bee idol.
And I'm gonna yell to Algar, "Hey, catch this!" I'm gonna wait to toss it to him until he's under me.
Right, that is Velas. Now we are to Grunralk.
Grunrock.
Are the bees super close to me?
If you are in the room, you can draw a weapon and swing at them.
I mean, like when I dodged them, did they like Like, woo! Looney Tunes go keep.
They are very close to you. Yeah, they're
Okay,
they're within
so-
melee reach of you because they're trying to sting you, and you
Gotcha,
are
so-
running around dancing, being crazy, which took up one of your fast actions.
I don't remember the fast actions. Is attacking a fast action?
Attacking is a slow action, but you get one fast, one slow per turn, so you have a slow action remaining. You can spend your turn madly swatting at bees with a weapon,
I'm gonna do that.
or you can flee the room. One or the other.
I'm gonna swat at some bees.
All right, go for it. Make an attack roll. This is just melee. You're just trying to squash as many bees as you can. That is a whole bunch of hits, which does 1 damage to the swarm, reducing its strength from 5 to 4. You spend your entire turn swatting and smashing and swinging and flinging your clothes and trying to swat down as many bees as you can, and you're getting some of them. But mostly there's a swarm overwhelming you, trying to sting you. You have done 1 point of damage to the swarm. And now we are on to initiative 8, which is Velas. Wait,
Vergello.
Vergello. That's right. I have it. All right, Vergello, you're up.
I don't know what to do.
You want to come catch this thing?
Be safe, my friend.
I liked your plan, Bill. I liked the fishing net covered in honey.
Create a bee
You know
fighting
what?
weapon.
I forgot about that, and I love it. I'm by the fountain. I'm just gonna
Dip the
put my
net.
fishing net and try and throw it at some bees.
All right, you can withdraw your fishing net and dip it in honey, and now you are wielding a bee fighting weapon that can do multiple damage to the bee swarm. But that will be your turn prepping it.
Okay.
And then we're going to the last initiative.
Ralgar.
Ralgar. Always last initiative.
First thing, always last. First thing I'm gonna do is swipe that ivory statuette since I'm standing by that mural.
Sure, you can move action, or you can fast action to snatch it from Velas if she'll hand it to you. Do you do that?
No, not the giant crystal thing she
Oh,
has.
the
Ivory
thing on the
one
wall?
you described. Yeah.
Okay. You grab the thing, but it is securely fastened to the wall, and it seems like it wiggles a little bit in place. Oddly.
I'm going to try to, with all of my might, to pull it
Okay.
off the wall.
You pull on it very hard, but it does not remove from the wall. It swivels 180 degrees in place and causes a hatch to open on the far side of the room, revealing a new area.
This is absolute chaos.
It
right
is
now.
total chaos.
Like I
Okay,
can honestly, I can
where's
hear the Benny Hill theme the whole time.
All right. Was that my entire turn pulling on that thing? That's fair, yeah.
That's your slow action. You have a fast action if you want to just run across to another room or do something else.
I want to go and see what's in this hatch.
Okay, you could just go like, what happened over there? And just go running across the room while your friends are struggling against bees. You want to go over there and get a description?
Yep.
That'll be your turn? Alright, let's do it. Let's do it. This is exactly how I plan on this going, so let's do it.
Buddy!
It's perfect. Alright.
You find more bees.
I'm just saying, you're trying to carry this heavy thing. I'm gonna see if there's like a stack of gold hiding in the
Bro,
wall.
I'm trying to throw you this heavy thing so I can kill some bees!
Let me just recap. There's a goblin fighting a bee swarm with a scimitar. There's a wolfkin who is searching while the combat's going on. There's the rogue is looting while the combat's going on and carrying an idol with both hands. And the bard is in the next room
my
over.
fishing net.
The bard is in the next room over making an improvised weapon. This is a perfect combat. It does not get better than this. All right, so
This is
my
exactly the
description.
dynamic I expected for this group, though.
it is. It fits this group perfectly. All right, so where were we? Let me get the description up here. All right.
Jeez. For something that you thought was gonna go this way, that you hoped would go this way, Sure is taking you a while.
Hey, give me a minute. I don't know how anything's gonna go.
For a page that just says bees on it, you are taking a long time.
There is a statue in that little alcove. There's a little curtain in front of the alcove, and you get to it and push it out of the way, and then that is going to end your turn with the description. You are looking at a huge, human-sized statue of a person, and the person is dressed in the garb of a traditional temple healer, like white robes with crossed strips of linen cloth. But the eyes of the statue have been defaced, scoured away, and painted over with crude little paintings of bees over the eyes. And it is standing on top of a rosewood coffin. And that is it. There is a rosewood coffin that this statue is sort of squatted over, and its face is defaced, and it has bees painted onto the eyes. And that is as much as you see.
Guys, I think I found it.
We are now back to the top of the initiative with the bee swarm swarming on Gordrock. Are you dodging again, or are you saving your fast action?
He said yes. He
said yes, I'm dodging.
Yes, I'm dodging. I keep forgetting I have to push to talk now.
All right, they're rolling one less die now because the swarm is slightly more dispersed, and they get a success. So roll your dodge. See if you avoid getting stinged.
It's above your roll.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Once again, you are just running around the room screaming, and the swarm can't keep up with you. You spend your fast action dodging the swarm. And we are done with that. So now we're on to initiative 3, which is Velas. You have the idol in your hands.
I'm holding this statue that Ralgar did not come and get. I am going to jump down.
And you can do what
I thought I was standing on top of the...
Yeah, it's you had to use your fast action to get to the idol and your slow action to like pull it down, and now you're just standing at the base of the thing holding the idol, and you can do what you want.
I'm gonna...
It doesn't require any additional action to take a step down off the hive.
I'm gonna step down and set the statue on the ground.
Okay.
It's a fast action to summon the dagger, right?
Mm-hmm.
Summon the dagger, and then I'll try and stab the bees.
Okay. You set the statue on the ground, summon the phantom dagger in the hand, and start swiping through the air at bees frantically. Make an attack roll.
Hit one.
You have slashed some bees, just swiping about for an entire round with the phantom dagger frantically.
Shish kebab of bees.
Yeah,
like a
their
dagger.
strength is reduced to 3, and we are on to initiative 7, which is Grunrauk.
I'm gonna attack again.
Okay. You do another damage to the bee swarm. You're frantically swatting and smashing and swiping and swinging, and you are squashing bees all over the place, and you have taken another point of strength away from them. And then
Point
you
of
have
order.
I'm gonna
a fast action remaining if you wish. Oh wait,
I'm
no, you
gonna-
don't, because you dodged.
I'm gonna spend a willpower to attack again with Path of the Blade.
Okay. If it doesn't require an action to add an extra attack. That is a success. You squash more bees. They're down to a strength 1 swarm. It's just a handful of bees swarming around the room now, trying to sting people.
I don't lose an empathy slashing at bees, right?
No,
Okay.
that's fine.
But if you get the last kill, you do feel guilty.
I'll rule that it doesn't apply here. As they're not an intelligent creature, or even like a... Yeah, even as animals go, they are... I mean, it's a bug swarm. I don't think you're going to lose empathy fighting them. Initiative 8. You're welcome for offending
I
you,
run in
PETA.
with my fishing net covered in honey.
Okay.
You do?
Oh, yeah. Go ahead. Make an attack roll. You can add 2 extra dice because this
Ow.
is a bee hunting weapon.
Yeah.
Honestly, how? Do I
This is just make a melee roll with no modifiers except for a +2 for the weapon being an improvised bee hunting weapon.
I was gonna say the fishing net does give me +2 in general, so. Oh no, it should be marksman, not melee. Come on, it's a ranged attack.
Are you throwing it away from yourself so you won't be able to do it again next round without moving to it and picking it up?
It's a casting net.
All right,
I
you
would
could do
use it
marksmanship.
the only way that I know how.
Yeah, you'll fling the net. That's fine. Fling the net towards the densest part of the remaining swarm.
That gives me 1 extra dice.
I figured.
Can I push my ranged attack?
Yeah, you can push your bee attack.
Yeah. Oh man.
Wow! No skulls, no successes on 12
Absolutely
dice.
nothing.
It's just all the middle. All right. That concludes your turn, and Ralgar, you're up.
Yeah, I am. I reach into that statue and I just pull it. off
You just
the top.
yank it as hard. Okay.
Creating another problem for us to deal with before we
No, this is
finish
incredible.
dealing
This is
with the
amazing.
one we have.
I mean, technically, there's only 1 bee left.
I am doing this for Lynn and for us.
Man, Ralgar is just like a magnet to the. There's all these little blurbs about details, and Ralgar is just going straight to all of them. You rip the statue out of the way, and it is concealing underneath it. It's made of loose plaster, and you rip it away, and there's a hole in the top of the coffin, revealing down below that there is a body in the coffin and a medical bag sitting on top of the coffin. And when you rip that all away, a door opens on the back wall of the room next to Grunralk.
Oh god.
This is incredible.
He's just like freaking speed running the dungeon.
Yeah, so he's just
triggering
triggering shit while everybody's still fighting. Okay, I'm gonna.
Buddy, let's
Always take Ralgar with you to escape rooms.
I revealed a little nook in the fog of war there. There's a curtain, or there's a mural on the wall, and a section of it just opens away, revealing the chamber beyond. But since nobody is standing directly aligned with the doorway who has vision and light, I'm not going to tell you what appears beyond it. But when you rip that thing away, it triggers something that opens the doorway on the back face of this room, and it reveals an open coffin with a body and a medical bag.
I'm gonna
That's-
swipe the medical bag.
You pick it up. All right. I think
And-
ripping that thing away is a slow action, and picking up the medical bag is probably a fast action. So that's probably your turn right
That's
there.
fine.
Yeah, you triggered something and then picked up the bag, and we're back around to the top, which is the 1 strength bee swarm. It's actually going to attack Velas this time since she's closest to the middle of the room. Do you want to try to dodge? Or do you want to just take the 1 die attack?
Do you have your studded leather armor?
I do. I'll dodge. It's just a
Okay.
move.
Yep, go ahead and make a move roll. They got no success. You also got, no,
also got no
success. All right,
success.
your fast action is eaten up, and we go to initiative 3, which is you.
I'm gonna stab at it with my slow action.
All right, you keep swatting at bees. See if you can finish off the swarm and effectively disperse it.
Got one.
You finish off the swarm. You swat away enough bees that there's now just random straggler bees that don't even constitute a swarm, and they're little more than an annoyance. The combined efforts of the party over several rounds have defeated the swarm with no one getting stung. And I now am going to require endurance rolls from Ralgar and Grunralk for no particular reason.
Oh, for nothing. None at all.
None at all.
I succeed with 1, or get 1 success, I guess I should say.
I'm right in the middle. Nothing.
Nothing. All right. Grunralk, all's normal. Ralgar, roll a d6.
Oh.
Don't roll poorly.
Which is poorly.
High.
Hi, how are you?
High is bad.
Push that endurance roll.
Ralgar, make a note of this. Until further notice, the hallucinatory effects of the honey are causing you to have poor risk assessment. You must push all skill rolls, but gain no willpower for doing so until further notice.
Oh, that's some bullshit.
Were you already role-playing before risk assessment walking around the room?
The fact that he has some push rolls now?
And you must roleplay this as well.
Usually
Ralgar
I'm
is
the one doing
Ralgar
this.
is feeling.
He already was. He
It
just
also,
ran
yeah,
around the room.
it totally plays into how he's playing, which is that he feels invincible and he's just staring into random stuff. Ralgar, yeah, you're under the hallucinatory effects of the honey. You must push everything. You don't gain willpower for doing it. You're just going. Right.
If you had been,
all right.
if you had been
If
winning
the
for
fight's over,
demons.
then I am reaching into that coffin and I'm pulling off a body part.
Oh, lovely. All right. One sec.
Ah, this might be the one. I will get a pound of flesh and we will bring it back to Lynn. Hey, where'd those bees go?
You asshole.
You pull out a femur bone. It is old and dusty and rancid.
Oh, there's no flesh on it?
Nah. I guess
Alright,
rancid
I
the
drop it
wrong
back.
word.
I look at it.
It's
I
an
give
old
it a-
dusty femur bone.
I drop it back in,
All right.
and then I want to inspect the contents of that medical bag. Just
All
see
right.
what's in it.
So the medical bag is of waxed black linen. You look inside. It is filled with scalpels, saws, sutures, gold wire, and other medical tools. They are gold-plated with onyx handles. These are fine tools that give a large bonus to heal checks when they are used to treat any sort of critical injuries, and they look quite valuable.
Hey, Valas, this looks a little easier to carry than that bumblebee.
Sweet. Let's toss it in ye old backpack.
Yeah, it's in mine.
What's everyone's backpack capacity weight at, per se? Anyone think they can handle something heavy?
This entire medical bag and all of its contents counts as 2 items. It's a single heavy item, which is a double item. So
It's a heavy item.
it's a heavy item, so it's 2 points worth.
Just like the bee statue.
Hey, are all 3 of the heartstones in the crown right now?
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. Then I can carry that medical bag.
In our weight, what is the L and the T, the N and the H?
T is trivial, N is normal, which is 1, and heavy is 2, which
What is L?
H.
Light, which is a half of one.
Okay.
It's a half an item, a whole item, a double item, which is heavy, or trivial, which means you don't have to track the weight.
Most of my shit's
I don't think my
trivial.
weight is adding up correctly.
It might be accounting your armor or something. Or,
I have that on there. It's my armor's
Yeah, mine
normal.
neither.
One,
I'm only carrying 2 normal items, and it says I have 5 encumbrance.
2. Yeah,
you
I'm
might have
carrying
something
2
else
normal
that's
and
counting
1 light.
towards it. Weapons and armor count towards it, and so it might be adding those in there.
Well, my short bow. Oh, it might be the food. Yeah.
Oh,
it's the
yeah.
Food
Food and
water
torches and water and stuff takes up weight as well, depending on the die. I think it takes up at least 1.
Yeah.
What
It's
is
factoring
the
all that stuff.
weight of the bee statue? It's heavy.
It's also 2.
Chat
Yeah.
says food and water.
Food and water. Food and
Yeah,
water.
that's what it is.
Food and water.
Thank you,
and
Elric.
whether or not I can carry, so under all of that we have carry and encumbrance. So as long as my carry is greater than my encumbrance, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Cool. What is the weight of Stand Guest?
1 is a normal item.
Josh, I am going to take all D12 of my water and rinse off my fishing net, leading me to 0. And
Okay.
now I am 6 of 8, so I can carry 1 heavy item.
Okay.
Well, do you want to
which-
carry the medical bag, or do you want to carry the...
I would love to
statue?
carry the medical bag because I have an 8 healing, so I could actually use that. if we don't end up selling it.
For
I hand it over to you.
yeah, so for checks used to treat critical injuries or whatever, this is like a fine quality set of medical tools that give +2 dice on heal checks. If you choose to sell it, it's also ostentatiously high quality. It's high quality, so it's like a +2 top tier tool, but it's also gold plated and with onyx handles and stuff. So if you choose to sell it, it will be worth a lot to sell. If you
Way more
decide
than a
to.
gold or more. A gold or more.
And it will probably attract less attention than that giant bee statue.
Well, the beast
I
statue's
also-
in my backpack. If
I also have one finely embroidered calfskin glove still that's worth 1 gold.
Yeah, you
That's
do.
just in my inventory.
And I have
Well,
a candelabra.
actually
An
sell-
eyeball
have it
inspection
on me.
suggests that the medical tools are worth a gold or more, Amy.
Eh. I need experience.
Uh-huh.
right.
I know why you were asking. So, it's about quitting time, but let's take a 5-minute thing here and then we'll wrap it up. Just what would the group do after this next?
Look inside the room that opened up.
Okay.
Oh yeah. I'm
Um,
not done with this dungeon until I know if I can get a pound of flesh or not.
Yeah, push into the next room with the
Okay.
paper mache,
Please
nurse, and everything.
I'll reveal the next room.
I don't think
give
I
you
have
the
a
description.
choice, do I? At this point, because of that honey, I just got to keep going. It's
All
cocaine
right.
honey.
I knew there was going to be something with that honey.
Not a cocaine bear, but a cocaine wolf, ladies and gentlemen.
Honey wolf and cocaine bear.
Cocaine Wolfkin is terrifying. All right, who's glancing into this next room? The door is open.
Grunrock.
Glancing, I'm in there.
All right, Grunrock steps into the
I'll
next
go
room.
into I'm going in. I'm going in.
On elevated biers, which are like wooden platforms made for putting dead bodies on top of. It's those big wooden platforms that they burn bodies on. There's 4 of those in this room. And there are mummified corpses on top of each of the 4. Even at a distance, the overpowering scent of citrus and preserving herbs, and the cloying reek of ambergris that they exude is undeniable. You're just overwhelmed with the strong smell of all these preservative materials that are smeared all over these mummified bodies on top of these wood platforms. They are dressed, all 4 of them, in conical caps with stylized pins placed in the center of each one's chest. So each of the 4 bodies has like a pin on its chest in the shape of a bee, and they look colorful and shiny from a distance, but that's all the detail you can make out. Blossoms of herbs spill from their gaping mouths. And that is as much as you can see from the entry to this room. So you're staring into a room with 4 wood platforms. Each one has a mummified body with an exposed face, and they smell strongly of a bunch of different preservative products, and they all have herbs and flowers and things stuffed in their mouths, and they each have something shiny on their chest.
Something shiny. I want shiny things.
I
What's on the
will-
back wall here? Can we see to the back wall?
The back wall has a door in it. It is a double stone door on the far back wall.
Can I tell if the bodies are mummified versus mellified?
They appear to be mummified. They are wrapped in strips of cloth, dried out, and stuffed with herbs.
All right, I'm gonna take one of the pins.
What do you mean shiny thing? Like,
The pin.
The pins that are on the chest of each of them.
so the bee pins. The bee pin.
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch him take a bee pin and see what happens.
All right.
Me too.
I'm gonna go crack this door at the other end of the room. Hopefully, Ralgar's distracted, and I can actually look before he goes in.
I'm gonna
All
summon
right.
my dagger as well.
We need to back up. The first thing that happened that was relevant is Ralgar said he grabs a pin. So we're backing up to that point. Ralgar,
Rolling initiative.
you grab a pin. All 4 corpses go. "Ugh." They open their mouths and clouds of strange colored greenish yellow smoke come out from each of the 4 bodies and begin to quickly fill the chamber. And please hold.
I'm in danger.
This is a breath attack against all targets in near range, which means everybody who has set foot in the room so far, which to me looks like everybody.
Everyone.
This is a poison attack against everyone in the room. So please hold. I will tell you exactly what you need to do.
Die.
Okay, got the page number. All right, here we go. This is going to be... I roll a number of dice equal to the potency of the poison, and you all roll for endurance. Because it's a little slower, but I feel like the fair way to do this is to roll separately for each of you, so that if I don't roll high, it doesn't just decimate the party. So I'm going to leave it up to the winds of fate here, but I'm going to go in the order of the party, starting with Vergello, Velas, Ralgar, Grunralk, in that order. I'm going to roll the potency of the poison against each of you. If the poison wins by getting more successes than you, then you suffer the full effect of the poison. If you win the roll, you suffer only a limited effect of the poison. And, yeah.
And we push these rolls.
Yeah, you can. So I'm going to start... Let's start with Vergello. We'll do these one by one. Vergello, this is a potency 6 poison, so I'm getting 6 dice, and you each get an endurance roll.
Jesus Christ.
Give me an endurance roll, Vergello. Poison gets no successes against you, so your result does not matter.
I rolled anyways and got a success.
You resisted. Velas. Poison got no successes against you, so your roll does not matter.
Oh boy, this is gonna be fun.
We're saving up the successes for you. Ralgar. 1 success on you, 1 endurance. The poison did not win. You suffer only the limited effects. And
Do I need to push that because of the honey?
you do.
You do.
Yeah.
So you'll
You
take
just
a
roll
point.
1d6.
You'll take a point of damage to your strength.
We'll
from
take a
it.
point of strength damage, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you don't gain the willpower, which really sucks.
Yeah,
and
it's
I'm
just
taking-
straight up strength loss because you're so hyped.
Hey, but just a
Hey,
straight
2
loss.
Alright.
successes though.
So you lose 1 strength, and then Grunrock, let's get poison against you. Oh, Grunrock.
Oh, I knew it
Oh
was gonna
no. Oh no.
He's got
The
a
person
hefty
with
endurance,
probably
though.
the best endurance is the one that's going to take a walloping. It's technically your choice if you want to. If you get 2 successes off those other 2 dice, then you'll lessen the effects to the minor effect, but it's up to
Not
you.
worth it.
You'll auto lose 2 strength in the process. You just take the full effect?
Yeah, I will take it. I was debating pushing it, but I'll just take the full effect.
All right.
You get the willpower if you push.
We don't know the effect of the poison though.
All right. This is a hallucinatory poison.
Nice.
Ralgar, Velas, and Vergello, you're each taking 1 point of damage to your empathy, which is the limited effect of exposure to the poison. Grunralk,
That's it.
you lose a point to empathy as well, and continue to lose a point of empathy each round until you run out or get an antidote.
Each round?
Grunrock's getting an automatic empathy break from this.
Oh, we're in battle.
Yeah, he's only got 2.
Yeah.
It won't take long. I only have 1 left.
So, Grunrock, how do you roleplay an empathy break due to hallucinogenic poison? And we'll end on this note.
Okay. Grunrock is going to...
The smoke engulfs you.
Yeah. I'm trying to push this door open. The smoke engulfs me. You hear Grunrock start to scream. He comes running past you, clawing at his eyes with sharpened fingernails. So scratching his face to basically scratching his face to ribbons, trying to claw his own eyes out. Running back past you into the darkness over by these statues.
Grunwald
Charging off on his own.
is cracked and crazy, and for the remainder of this quarter day is going to be unable to contribute to anything because this thing got in his brain and he is losing it and running off into the darkness. Yes.
Wait, just because it takes a quarter of a day anyways, I could do performance recovery to have him recover empathy.
Yeah.
You have to catch him first.
I'm just gonna run after him strumming on my guitar.
Yeah, hang on. Let me check if, so...
It says it's page 108.
I was looking at the...
It was a good scream and it didn't break.
Critical injuries horror, which happens... I'm trying to see if an empathy break requires a roll on one of the critical injury tables or not. I'm seeing under what circumstances you roll on that.
Injuries.
Yeah, so that's if you do wits. Empathy is the most lenient one. If you run out of empathy, it screws you over for a quarter day. It says you break down in despair or self-pity. You must either explode in violent outburst, kicking and breaking everything around you, withdraw from the people around you, or it otherwise be uncommunicative until you've recovered a point of empathy, which normally will take a full quarter day of downtime. Vergello.
Yes.
Grunwalk is losing it. He's probably running around in the dark, bashing his head on stuff, being crazy and screaming and hallucinating. You can try to calm him with your music and see if you can snap him out of it. Otherwise, the party's going to have to find a way to restrain him and wait a quarter day.
I will do performance. Should I roll my penalty or not? I always let you decide for my dark secret.
You can choose to take the penalty if you choose to. It'll be a -2.
I will do so.
All right. Vergello is playing music half-heartedly. He seems sad while doing it.
Can
And he
I
fails.
push it? I don't know if I honestly can never remember if you can push recovery rolls.
If you are gonna use your penalty, I think it's fitting that we not push it because your character doesn't care enough.
That's fair.
And we end there. So that will conclude the session with Grunwalk running into the darkness, losing his mind. We'll resume with the consequences of that next time. But
Adam and I say that we went ahead and grabbed the other 3 pins before leaving the room.
No.
Be
Do it
further
next time.
consequences. We'll do it next time. But I don't know like how much poison they had or the time thing. So he screamed.
just wait on it for now.
Okay.
We've just grabbed 1, and we'll leave it there.
Add it to your inventory, Adam.
Okay.
Assuming that's trivial.
We're going to hand out experience. Wrap up the session there. We'll announce the date of our next session, which should be 2 weeks from now. I'll talk about it in a minute. Let's do XP. How you feeling, Grunwalk? You run around in the dark in a dungeon, half crazy from poison?
Yeah.
Actually, you're fully crazy from poison. Did you participate in the game session? If so, gain an experience point. Did you travel through at least 1 hex on the game map you had not visited before? No. Did you discover a new adventure site? Yes. This counts. It is separate from the village. It is its own adventure site. You found a dungeon. Did you defeat 1 or more monsters? The bee swarm does not count. Did you find a treasure worth a gold or more? Yes. The medical tools are very valuable. Did you build a functioning stronghold? Did you activate your pride? Did you suffer from your dark secret? I'm going yes to Bill and yes to Adam. That's it.
Didn't somebody use a pride? Or am I...
He talked about it, but he couldn't.
Okay.
Did you risk your life for another player character? I don't think a single
Not
person
that last
did that.
combat.
And extraordinary act of some kind.
Adam?
Do we have an extraordinary act that we want to give an extra XP to?
I kind of want to give it to Adam.
I also kind of want to give it to Adam.
For
literally secret door.
My
No.
other thought was Bill for improvised bee weapon, but it didn't actually.
Improvised bee weapon was probably the cleverest thing. I like that one quite a bit.
But
even though it didn't fully pan out. But I think dipping the fishing net in honey and using it as an improvised bee weapon was pretty sweet. I kind of want to give it to Bill, honestly.
Unintended.
I'm gonna give it to Bill.
I'll take it.
Adam had some hilarious moments, but I think for creativity, I'll give a point to Bill for the honey net bee hunting weapon. And we'll leave it there. So that is the XP. Everybody update your XP. We will resume next time with Grunrog running around screaming in the dark. The best way to resume a session.
It's just like every other session.
Yeah. So thanks for playing, everybody. If you're not aware, we streamed on YouTube and Twitch both tonight. We're probably going to do that going forward. We've been getting a bit more success on YouTube, so we're definitely going to at least stream to YouTube. So please like, subscribe, follow, etc. Thank you all for watching. We are going to be playing again. So I'm moving across the country, but there are no dates set on it yet. My wife just took a job across the country, and we're trying to figure out when we're moving. I think 2 weeks from tonight is good. Is that good for everybody else? I probably won't be gone by then. That would be, that's the June 10th, Monday, 2 weeks from today.
July 10th?
July 12th.
Oh, July 10th, I mean.
June
Is
10th,
everybody
July.
tentatively free on July 10th, 2 weeks from today?
Yeah, I'm tentatively free.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then let's plan on doing that. Twitch doesn't let us post our calendar until we have more followers on there, but I'll put it at least as a YouTube live stream announcement, so you'll see it pop up on there. But we'll play same time, 2 weeks from tonight. Thank you all for following, and
If you want to see anything special in our shorts or in our short form videos, let us know in comments. We'll make it happen.
we're going to be posting lots of new content and stuff in addition to keeping the campaign going. So, and our theme song is up as a short on there. We need to do an animation for that at some point when one of us has time to do it. But yeah, thank you all for watching. Have a good night. And